All right, this next guest has been a request for a long time. He's a multi-time champion, over 40-plus wins. He's known for ushering in new talent, new ideas into the short course world, and even bringing a few veterans back into the sport. So the one, the only, Ryan Beat.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. I know we talked about this a long time.
Yeah.
All of our schedules never seemed to align, and somehow it did.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, I couldn't ask for a better time. After Bark River, the weekend you had,
Yeah.
the position you're in right now, getting close to the end of the season,
Yeah.
it's an exciting time for you and everybody else that's watching the sport.
Stressful.
Stressful.
That for sure, like watching your previous seasons at Bark River, was that your best Bark River?
It's one of them for sure. I'm pretty sure it's my best. Bark River has definitely been like my kryptonite. Like, I don't know what it is about that place. Just if anything and everything could go wrong, it does there. Like, it's stuff that's just out of the ordinary, just unnatural, just stuff that you would never expect happens there to me. So to get through there the way we did, definitely grateful and thankful just to be out of there somewhat unscathed.
I think Bark River and ERX are always that they're at the timing that everything's starting to get tight.
Yep.
And everybody's getting less relaxed because now suddenly that top qualifier point means like
every
the world.
Point matters. Every point matters. And honestly, like this year, we haven't even really been trying to like count points and be that crazy about points, where in past years we have. But still, it's just that nerve wracking of like, all right, we want to keep winning and we want to keep the momentum going and the positive vibes within our pit. And so like it's almost more like that pressure than it is like counting points.
Yeah, I think in the beginning you can definitely overmath it and overthink it and make yourself just go crazy.
I've done it so many times throughout my career where you just like you overmath it and you overanalyze it and you're on the track adding points and you're not just focused on just going out and doing your job or just going out and having fun for that matter, you know?
Yeah. So we're 21 points ahead of Ultra right now, right?
I think it's something like that.
Yeah, 21 and then 36 ahead of KGB. So, I mean, good position there.
Yeah, anything can happen, right? Though, I mean, I've been ahead. I think like 2 years ago, I was leading the points and had like almost a 60-point lead. And one weekend, it went to like a negative 30 point. It was like a 90-point swing or 70-point swing in one weekend. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was a big swing. So anything can happen, right? Like you don't know till it's over.
So we're staying away from dirt bikes for the rest of the season, right?
Yes. There's no dirt bikes whatsoever, not even pit bikes. I'm like, nope, I'm staying away.
I think that bit you twice, didn't it?
Yeah, it's bitten me a couple times, honestly, throughout my career of being on a bike. But it's hard because I grew up on bikes, right? And I've always enjoyed riding and loved riding. I contribute a lot of my success and a lot of my skill in the truck to being on a bike and having that natural reaction time and that sixth sense of awareness of what's going around you and just really having kind of like timing, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to stay away from the bike because I love it so much and it's so much fun and it's good for me. But in the same sense, when it bites you hard. So, definitely staying away for the rest of the season.
Just bring it to Glen Helen, and then when the race weekend's done, schedule yourself an extra day.
Exactly.
And you can go play out there. Yeah.
So flipping back a little bit to Bark River, what did you think of like the track layout and the conditions this year? Definitely seemed a little different than previous years, at least.
Yeah, no, I think the track condition was Saturday was really good. I was actually really impressed at how well the track stayed together and the racing stayed. Usually Bark River slicks off and it's hard packed and blue grooved within 4 or 5 laps, and honestly, you just kind of become single file and follow the leader and really shitty. And honestly, Saturday was beautiful. Saturday was probably the best I've ever seen Bark River. And then we went into Sunday and it's like the town went, dried up, didn't have no water or something because my God, it was like racing in the desert. And I'm going to get some flack for saying that, desert races and dust all the time. Yeah, well, that's desert, dust has its place. It's in the desert.
Yeah.
Short course, the tracks need to be watered, right? It's when the track is dusty like it was, it's not good for the fans. It's not good for the racers. It's not good for the media guys. It's not good for anybody. It's not good for TV, right? Yeah. It doesn't make for good racing. So, I was quite disappointed on Sunday of how the track conditions got, where, and to be honest and to be fair, I think that's been the case all season long. Every track we go to, you're starting to see this trend of all these tracks. And I don't want to call it laziness or them holding back on the spend of water, if that's what it is. But it's like Sunday, you might as well not even race. It's so damn dusty at every track we go to. It's like this trend that you're seeing that if none of these tracks or, track owners or promoters, none of them are going the extra mile like they used to 5-6 years ago to like rip it and water it and prep it and make good racing conditions. They're kind of just like, we're just going to water it and blade over top it. Like they don't actually turn the dirt over. It doesn't actually break up the hard pack or the blue groove. Yeah. It's just hard pack slick racing. So it's like Sunday was quite a disappointment after seeing Saturday's track conditions. I'm like, oh, badass. These guys are on it and they're going to do a good job of taking care of the track and giving us a good racing surface for Sunday. And then we get there and it was waste time being out there.
Yeah. It's also interesting too, because as more tracks are changing the dirt compound, you got to wonder if the new compound is aiding the second day being more dusty.
Yeah, and that's probably what it is, right? Like, a lot of these tracks are adding sandier material, and, the sandier material typically requires more water, right? Like, it dries out quicker. It's dustier, that's the reason the deserts are dusty. It's more of a sandy material. So I think it's just one of those things that, these tracks really need to get the prep and watering under control, and the racing's going to be that much better.
Yeah. I mean, there's a flip side of that, too, where the water truck gives you a soaking wet race.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's a flip side, right? Like, and that's part of the balance of, I guess, of owning a track and being on top of maintaining a track, and trying to give these racers the best track conditions that they can. You look at Eldora with Tony Stewart. I'll use that as an example. It's one of the best. Every racer in the country that races dirt late models or modifieds or sprint cars, they'll tell you Eldora is one of the best places you could ever race. Why? Because there's passion. And the track owner, Tony Stewart, makes damn sure that track is perfect before he lets cars out on that track. They will go the extra mile. If they have to stop, their races to do a track prep, they will, right? Like, they take that as a pride, and they take a lot of passion involved in making sure that their tracks are perfect for their racers. So I think we could use a little bit of that.
That reminds me, I haven't been there, but you have, Boone.
Yeah, Boone, Iowa for Super Nationals. It's like every 10 races.
Really?
They take a farm session and they bring out a bunch of farming vehicles and tear up the track, rework it.
Yep.
But I mean, they have like probably 100 heats a day, so you gotta work the track.
Yeah. Yep. And how good is the racing there?
Good.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there's a correlation there. The better the track prep is, the better the racing's going to be.
Yeah. When I went to Victorville, it was like the first time I've ever seen, I don't know if it's like tilling or spading or whatever they did, but brought out the tractor and completely ripped up the track.
Yep.
And I was like, oh man,
dirt bikes
ruining it. What are we doing?
Yeah, they rip it really deep and then they get the water in it, and the water soaks all the way to the bottom, and then they seal it over, right?
Yeah.
And what that happens is, as the racetrack develops and you get deeper in the groove, it's still good dirt underneath. It's not like just water on top of a hard packed surface that slicks off or dries off or blows off, and then you get through that and it's just dust, right? Like, you get down in the dirt and the tires get down in the dirt and turn it over, and there's still good dirt down there. Good traction, good racing, allows for, you to make other lines other than just a single file line.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting because it was like that heavy, grainier type sand.
Yeah.
And it was wet, and I had like more like all-terrain tires because that's what we always run.
Yep.
And they were all running Hoosiers. So like the first half, I was on it.
Yep.
And then the second half, it got hard.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, oh,
Done.
all right, see you guys later.
Yep, understand that one.
Yeah, but to your point, like, I think that's what we've been struggling with a little bit across the competition is, as it dries out, the one lane makes it tough.
Yeah, it makes it super tough, and then it creates situations and scenarios like we saw this weekend where guys start getting rough, right? And they start driving over top of each other and wrecking each other and tearing up equipment, and it doesn't look good for the fans, it doesn't look good for the sport, and it's all due to a track condition, right? Yeah. It's all due to a track not being raceable or having multiple lines or, whatever. Everybody, for some reason, is like scared to turn over the track. Like on the West Coast, when we used to race with Lucas, they would literally rip the track, water it, rip the track, water it, rip the track, water it for like 3 or 4 days before the event even started. Yeah. And then by the time the event was started, they would just like wheel pack the track, right? And then leave it. Like they would blade it, but like the dirt would be so good underneath that you would have multiple lines. I mean, you'd have 3 or 4 different lines through one corner that worked, that were fast, because everybody had traction, or every inch of that track had traction that you could go and you could move around to make passes. Right now, we're just stuck in these single file racetracks because of the prep. That's like, if you step out of that line, it's a 3-foot curb, and it's 2 foot deep of loam sand that it just slows you down, right? So if you, it's like, just again, it's like single file racing, on a road course that's slicked off.
Yeah. And then you get worried to step out of line, because if you take that move, all of a sudden it's 3-4 trucks are now by you because
100%.
you got stuck outside.
Yep, 100%. It's like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, and you don't want to race dirty and you don't want to get the elbows up, but like, if not, you're just riding around. What I mean?
Single file.
Yeah, single file.
It would be interesting to see if tracks could do like 3 days or 5 days before the event, no practice.
Yeah.
But also that hinders a lot of people, because I know you always try to practice the track.
We try to
beforehand.
test the Monday after the previous event at the next track we go to, so it gives us the maximum time to prep our vehicles before the next race, right? So we go there and test. I don't typically like testing right before the event, because if something goes wrong, God forbid you crash a truck, you ain't got no time to repair it. What I mean? You're scrambling to do it. So I always advise against doing that with my team. But yeah, I think the no test rule needs to come into play at some point, but it's never going to happen, because let's be honest, these tracks want to make money, and that's how they make money. So
plus there's at least 24 teams that
yes,
want to try to get testing in.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're looking at 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks.
Totally. Yep. Yeah.
And you might scratch a half a week because you don't want to touch the track, because you might damage something and then can't fix it.
Exactly. So it's like, again, part of the schedule that comes into play with everything being so compact. Tracks, we're kind of in some special scenarios, if you will, some special circumstances that kind of put us in these situations where we are.
Yeah, off-road is absolutely unique.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So what is your favorite off-track experience that you had at Bark River then?
Off-track experience at Bark River.
With it being the 50th and all, a little extra.
Oh, like last weekend?
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't do shit last weekend. I kind of just hung out at the pit and chilled. As I get older, maybe it's the wiser in me, or it's the experience of, but like being at the track, it's kind of like it's like a vacation, because during the week getting prepared before the stuff, I'm so busy that by the time I get to the track, I just want to chill. I'm usually in bed by like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night watching a movie with my kids or something like that.
We know that's true. We stopped by a couple times.
Yeah.
He's in bed? What do you mean?
Yeah. So it's like my vacation time where I kind of can get caught up on rest and chill, like as weird as that sounds. But like the race weekends are like my time to relax a little bit, because during the week it's, you're busting hump, and come race weekends, you have plenty of help because everybody wants to help with the races. Yeah. But during the week, you're like, I have to do a lot more, so kind of the race weekends, I take advantage of the extra help. So I don't know. I'd say I enjoyed watching that long jump competition. That was pretty cool. That was fun to be a part of and see that go down. Like, that was gnarly. I thought the dudes were going to go a lot gnarlier, but hey, it's all good. I understand the circumstances. I would have liked to have seen us race like a Friday night, Saturday night race, or a early Friday, early Saturday, and then Saturday night, like, have the jump show. You know what I mean? Because then everybody's weekend's already over. Like, I would have done it at that point and been like, all right, let's go send it. You know what I mean? You have 2 weeks to fix a truck if you wad it up.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you were going to bring like a second truck just for that.
Everybody was like, hey, bring out the backup truck. I'm like, no, I can't, because the problem is if I tear it up, Roxon's testing it Monday, and I can't not have a truck for the Supercross champ. You know what I mean? Show up, sorry, dude, crash your truck.
Sent it a little too hard.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, yeah.
Yeah. What is your favorite track of all time then?
Oh, man, that's hard.
Doesn't have to be from this season, just all time.
Yeah, I think I love Crandon. I love that, like, it's big, it's high speed, there's plenty of pass room, and honestly, they do such a good job at maintaining the track and trying to give us good racing conditions. So I like Crandon. If I had to pick a second favorite track, it'd probably be Firebird in Arizona. Like, it's a fun track. Like, it's like a real red clay.
Okay.
And it's got really good traction. When they water it and prep it right, like, it's dialed. Like, it's a legit track, and It's got big jumps, real fun bowl corners where you can get multiple lines. Like you can have kind of like sprint car racing or dirt late model where you can run up top and run line, and the guy runs the bottom. Yeah. It just gives a lot of room for passing. And it was quite a fun track when we used to race there.
Yeah, that one's a lot of straightaways back and forth.
Yep, kind of zigzag back and forth. But yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun to race there.
Cool.
Do you think some of the tracks in the Midwest need to add more difficult like aspects to them, or change up the condition of the track or layout to some degree?
No, I think that's what makes the Midwest unique. I think, our West Coast races need to be like our Supercross stuff, and I think the Midwest needs to own it, right? Like the tracks here are less jumpy. They're, higher speed. It would be cool to have some big jumps at some of these tracks for the fan base, to show the fans like what these trucks can really do in person, because they can see it on TV on the West Coast, but it doesn't do it justice, right? Yeah. So it would be cool to see a couple of these Midwest tracks to have some bigger sections and some timing and some rhythm, and to separate some of that. Hey, everybody can hold it wide open going down a straightaway, and everybody can brake and turn, but let's have some timing and some rhythm and some stuff like that, kind of like ERX does,
Yeah.
But I enjoy coming to the Midwest. I enjoy having multiple different styles of tracks, like you go to the West Coast, it's more like Supercross. You come to the Midwest, it's more like motocross. So it's cool. I enjoy it, honestly. I think it would be unnatural to go and try to add a bunch of jumps to Crandon or Bark River or something like that. Like it probably wouldn't flow.
Makes sense.
I think there's got to be that fine balance, because we have the Crandons, the Bark Rivers, but then we have the Antigos on the Dirt City.
Yeah.
Where the Crandon and Bark River, you're stretched out. You're depending on your speed. And then Antigo and Dirt City, everybody's like, oh, it's too tight. There's concrete everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, those would be the tracks if I was going to put big jumps at, I would put them there, honestly. Like, I would make them really technical, like right out of a corner, have a double. Or if you get, the speed or have the balls, you can try to triple it, or like make it Supercross, those tighter tracks. The high-speed tracks that have like a big jump or, technical jumps at a high-speed track probably wouldn't flow and wouldn't be any fun.
Yeah, that's true. I got another championship question. So does a championship mean more when there's higher competition? Do you feel like that kind of raises the bar on it?
To be honest, I don't know nowadays. Like I'm at a kind of a weird point in my career and weird stance on championships and what they really mean. You take the past 4 or 5 Pro2 champions and watch what's happened to their careers after they've won Pro2 championships, and what does that mean? Right? Like you just work, like Keegan, Corey Winter, they all work their ass off to earn these championships, and then they get dropped by sponsors
and
as soon as they're done. And then they're part-time, and then it's this and it's that. And it's like, do they really hold the weight? I mean, for us personally, ego-wise and in our hearts, yes, you work your ass off. That's what gets me up every morning and is my drive to try to win, right? But nowadays in the world with social media and sponsorship, does it really mean a whole lot? Like, I don't know. It's kind of a weird question. It's like it's one of them questions that, does it mean a lot to me? Yes, of course. I want to win, right? Like I still want to win. I want to win championships. That's my goal. But I guess now at this later stage of my career, does it hold the weight, or do I take it as serious as I used to? No, probably not. You know what I mean? Like, I want to do it, but like, it's not going to be the end of my day if I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not going to be like, damn, I quit racing, like I go home and I see my kids, I'm happy and have been able to make a really good living and a really good life from off-road. And, it sucks to lose, but it's not the end of the world, right? Like there's bigger things in my life now that are way more important, and I'm not going to allow, say, losing a championship to ruin my day.
Yeah.
Do you think if, like, say the payout of winning a championship was way more, do you think they would hold more weight?
For sure. I think the payout, I think the what's the word I'm looking for? I think obviously if the pay was more, it would mean a lot more. If the prestige was a lot more, like if short course where it was right now today, where it was 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I think it would mean a lot more for sure to sponsors, to drivers, to brands that are looking to get involved in short course. I think it would mean a lot more.
Yeah.
But with the current state of where short course is at, does it really mean a whole lot? I don't know, there's 4 or 5 Pro2 drivers that have won championships and lost all their sponsorship the year after, 2 months after they win it. So
Yeah.
it sucks, it's heartbreaking to see. But, I still love racing, still going to do it, still going to try to win championships, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess I want to rewind a little bit back to the start of Ryan Beat. So you grew up in the box.
The box,
Yeah.
El Cajon.
What part of, how did you find your passion for off-road there with that being, the place it is?
Well, I started on dirt bikes, and I started at the age of 4. I got my first dirt bike when I was 5. I started riding four-wheelers when I was 4. My Uncle Dale, he was a factory mechanic for Factory Kawasaki for a rider by the name of Bader Manet from Italy. And so he was always like dirt bikes. My dad raced sprint cars and midgets and stock cars up until I was about 3 or 4 years old. And then my other uncle, David, who comes to the races often with us, raced stock cars like his whole life, like up until like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And so I was always around racing. I was always involved in racing and family racing, and got on a dirt bike when I was 5, raced to about the age of 12, and it got really, really serious. It was one of those things where I was the first factory amateur rider for Yamaha at the time, and basically they gave me an option. Hey, we want you to full-time racing. We want you to go to Loretta's. We want you to go to Ponca City. We want you to go to World Mini. We want you to travel all over the country racing, and we need you to do so. You basically got to homeschool. And my mom was like, no way, no shot, So that kind of killed that part. So I was like at that 12-year-old range where I was like kind of a little bit of rebellious, and I'm like, all right, if you're not going to let me go to homeschool and do this right, I'm out. I quit. And she's like, bet. Your bikes are gone. You're done. So like it shut the program down. Like I didn't touch a dirt bike till I was 17, like just getting ready to graduate high school. And like they had opened up a track in El Cajon that was super easy to go ride at. And that was the problem with El Cajon growing up. There was no motocross tracks. There was one track called Barona. And the rest of the tracks were an hour and a half north from where we lived.
Okay.
My dad was working construction, and we didn't have the means to drive an hour and a half north every day after school. I had a little sister who was coming up as well, and going to school, and it just kind of didn't fit with our family, like where my mom and my dad's goals were for our family. And so when they were like, yo, you're not going to homeschool, we're not going to chase this dream at the level that the sponsors want at the time, I was just like, all right, well, fuck this. I don't want to do it, kind of being a little spoiled brat. But it was what it was. I was 12 years old, and I wanted to be a professional motocross rider. And I saw it as my parents were shutting my dream down. They're like, oh, you can still race. You can't. We're not going to travel around the country, and you're not going to be this big superhero. I'm like, well, I don't want to do it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
So I didn't ride. They sold my bikes, and at the age of 17, I getting ready to graduate high school, and I'm like, hey, I want to start riding again. My dad's like, all right, cool. Go to work. Go buy a bike then. You know what I mean? So I had to go to work for him, working construction, and went and bought a new Honda 250F. And luckily, the local dealership in town, Motor World of El Cajon, they had a supercross team at the time. And they were like, hey, here's the deal. We know you want to go back racing. We supported you when you were younger. If you buy a bike, we'll give you one for free. And I'm like, okay, cool. Then I got a practice bike and a race bike. So I did that for a couple of years, and turned pro. And they had a supercross team at the time, Motor World Yamaha team. And one of their riders got hurt early on in the season. I think it was 2007, 2008. And I got to go fill in for him. And so at Outdoor National, I did pretty good. I think I ran top 20 at the Outdoor National, and it was a good time. The following year, I got picked up by a KTM team, satellite KTM team, MDK KTM, the Fire Police KTM team, and got to do a couple supercrosses and got to ride quite a bit. In the winter time, before I got the supercross ride with KTM, I did a bunch of arena crosses with Tommy Hoffmaster. I got a Yamaha deal and got to go ride some arena crosses and had a ton of fun with that. Then got picked up by the KTM team and did like the first 2 supercrosses of the year. And at the time, Factory Kawasaki had been looking at me or whatever. And
Okay.
they came to me and were like, hey, we have an opportunity. We need like a full-time test rider to do setup and do test development stuff for like Villapoto. And at the time it was Tim Ferry. And so I was like, yeah, what's it pay? And like they threw a number at me and I was like, yeah, done. And I'm like, what do I got to do? And they're like, you got to show up to the track 4 days a week and ride. I'm like, I don't have to go to the races. I get my weekends. Like, they're like, yeah. I'm like, sign me up. So I did
Sounds
that.
like a better deal than
Yeah,
actually
no,
racing.
dude, it was full legit. Like it was so sick. I got factory bikes. I got full-time mechanic. I didn't do anything. Like I'd show up to the track at 8 a.m. I'd leave by 2, and that was my day.
That's
like
awesome.
it was so chill. Like it was such a rad gig. And so leading into the 2010 Supercross season, I was at the Kawasaki test track doing some testing, and I broke my navicular bone. And the doctor was like, hey, you're done for at least 12 months. It's like the hardest bone in the body to heal. It's basically there's no blood flow to it. So broke my wrist, and Kawasaki was like, yeah, take the time off. You know, you're good. You can chill. Let us know when you're good to ride again. I was like, all right, well, do I turn this into workman's comp or what do I do here? And they're like, no, don't turn it into workman's comp. We'll keep you busy doing some other stuff. So I got to do some jet ski testing, you know, and got to do like some Kawasaki mule testing where you just like these things drive 5 miles an hour through the hills.
Yeah.
But I just getting paid the same. So I'm like, I don't care. I had just bought a house. So I'm like, as long as I make my house payment, I don't care. So I do that for a little bit. And then right about the time that I'm getting my doctor's note signed off, I go to Cowie and I'm like, hey, I got my doctor's note. I'm good to start testing again. It was right in the 2009/10 economy crash when everything like just shit to bed. Yeah. And they were like, hey, we appreciate it, but we're closing our testing program due to budget. And I was like, oh, sick. Okay. I don't have a job now. Right. And I just bought a house and starting to get life going, and was like, damn, what do I do? It was like really like a pretty gnarly crossroads in my life at the time. I look back and I'm like, dude, that was gnarly, and didn't know what to do. Like, dude, I bought a car detailing trailer and was detailing cars on the side. Like I was like doing anything I could, and a family friend came to me at I think it was like at a Christmas dinner or something. Was like, hey, we got these side by sides. We're talking about starting to race, and you know, you want to try racing one? I'm like, dude, I don't have any money. I can't bring you anything. Like, you know, if I win, can I pay my house payment? Or like I don't mind coming to the shop and helping work. And they were like, yeah. And those at that time it was the Yamaha SR1s, like the Yamaha Rhinos with the R1 chassis in them. And so I was like, all right, cool. So I went to the first race, and I think the first race I got second ever racing. It was against like a bunch of good people. It was like RJ Anderson was in side by sides at the time. Doug Matag was in the SR1s at the time. Yeah. It was like a pretty good stack of field of like good drivers that are still racing today. And I did like the first day I got like second or third, and then the second day I won. And then like from there it snowballed into 2011. I built my own car, and I got picked up by Hart and Huntington as like their SR1 driver. But like me and my dad built it in our garage. Yeah. That was like really the first car I learned to fabricate on. Like my dad knew how to fab from his years of race cars, and he actually did about 5 years with factory Porsche in Stuttgart, Germany for their IMSA team.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, so he was like a fabricator there. And so me and him like were like, all right, let's build one of these SR1 cars. It'd be kind of cool. Like, got a cage, no more busted up hospital visits from a dirt bike. So like maybe this is a good thing.
That was like a Weller package deal.
Yes,
right?
yeah, it was a Weller package deal. Yeah, so super cool. So I bought like their driveline kit, and I bought a motor, and then we bought at the time I still had a relationship with Yamaha, so I bought a chassis from Yamaha and a motor from Yamaha, and then we cut everything off and built like a real true custom, SR1. So it was really cool. So that year I drove for the Hart and Huntington team in the SR1, and like, dude, we mopped up, like we kicked ass. We missed like the first race, like something, I can't remember what happened, but we weren't in it for the championship, but I won like 6 or 7 races in a row that year, like kicked ass. Wow. And at the end of the season, they were like, hey, if you build a Pro Light, we'll fund it for you. And I was like, oh, all right. How do I come up with $100,000 to build a Pro Light? You know, like, holy fuck, that's a lot of money, 24 years old or whatever I was at the time. And I think I was 22. And so anyways, like, we're like, all right, well, let's figure this out. So down in El Cajon, there's like a big off-road community. There's like Tisco, Jimco. There's so many brands. Mastercraft Safety was there. King was there. Fox was there. Like, El Cajon's like the mecca of off-road racing, like for like all the brands. And so I was good friends and good buddies with Matt Lloydies, who was the owner of Jimco's son, right? Okay. And so they had a Pro Light program when it was 4-cylinder Pro Lights. And so I'm like, hey, I need to build Pro Light. And they're like, well, we have one that's cut up, that's pre-cut, laser cut on a pallet. We don't want it no more. Get it out of here. I'm like, well, what do you want for it? And they're like, $1,500. I'm like, okay. Yeah. So I sold like some dirt bike wheels I had in the garage from my days of dirt bikes. Bought the kit, and me and my dad were like, fuck, where do we start? We're in over our head. So, excuse me. Luckily at the time, like, me and Robbie Woods were starting to kind of be buddies, and like, I came on strong in the UTV scene. He kind of noticed me, and we had noticed each other from like the dirt bike days and had a lot of mutual friends and just moto guys connected, right? And he's like, hey man, bring it up to my shop. He's racing Pro2 at the time. Hey, bring that thing up to my shop, that pallet of parts. We'll put it together. So we went up there and dude, I spent like a week and a half where me and him worked from like literally 6 a.m. to 3 a.m. every day, like putting this truck together. And he taught me a lot about fabrication at the time. And, you know, he was the man. He still is. And we put this truck together. I took it home, and long story short, we got the truck together, and I got to race the 2012 Pro Light season. Almost won the championship against RJ Anderson.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So RJ ended up winning it. I got second. I think Deegan got third. And that was like my first real season of like truck racing, or, you know, was 2012.
That's crazy how the truck came together and just those connections.
Yeah, like it was really like I always say, like, there was definitely, you know, like some divine intervention at that point in my life where like somebody was helping me for sure, because I don't know how, like, I look at, and I got so lucky because we didn't know what we were doing. Me and my dad didn't know. Like, we weren't off-road racers. We had no recollection, no clue. My dad was a short track, circle track racer, and I was a motocross kid. So to like be able to pull this program together and somehow everything organically came together, it was like a miracle.
Definitely. All right, you covered everything, a lot of everything. I gotta skip here ahead.
Yeah, so we're working on that truck and got to learn the fabrication side of off-road. I'm sure that really would got you excited to continue to build more trucks.
Oh, for sure. Like, it like just sparked a passion that for unlike anything I've ever had. There's like two things in this life that I've just been like, oh my God, so sick. It was, you know, racing dirt bikes and now racing trucks. Like, it's like nothing else intrigues me, nothing else I care about. Like, it's just those two things in life that I'm like, yeah, those are fucking sick. So yeah, I mean, that's what it was once we started to learn how to do it and learn how to fab. And like, you know, I swear being a part of that build and learning how to do it from the ground up that first time has really kind of set the tone for my career of like being a better driver and knowing what's going on, knowing and understanding how the truck works and how things affect each other, you know?
And I'm sure now you get to pass that experience down to other people that come through your program.
Yeah, we definitely try. We try to pass that experience down. Obviously, a lot of people that come through our program aren't in the shop day to day and where we can teach them, but at least I can help navigate the roads between those times, you know?
So you're in Pro Light up until 2018 then?
2019 was my last year in Pro Light.
Okay.
Yep.
So you had 2017 and 2018 championship?
2017 was Crandon. That won the World Cup there. And then 2018 Lucas Oil Championship, and 2019 as well. Awesome.
So then how did you transition from building trucks with Robbie Woods to deciding I need to open up my own?
2013, I raced for that Hart and Huntington team. At the end of the season, like, I was working in the shop. That year, 2013, I drove Pro Light, Pro 2, and Pro 4 because all the other drivers quit. It was me, Rob Naughton, and Josh Merrill. And the two other drivers quit the team and were like, yo, we're not racing for you guys. And at the time, like, I didn't get too involved in it. Like, I was just a shop kid working, getting to race my truck. And I'm like, I'm staying out of this drama or whatever. So everybody quit. They're like, all right, Beat, you're driving all three trucks. So I raced all three trucks all season long that year. Yeah. And it was too much. Like, it was too gnarly, and trying to learn. I was still working on my own truck in between, like, coming off the track of driving the Pro 4. I'd have to go work on my Pro Light and then hurry up and jump in the Pro Light and go drive it, and then hurry up and jump in Pro 2. And it was kind of gnarly. So long story short, we get through that season, and as the season went on, everything kind of came to light as to what was going on with the team and where funding was going and all this crazy stuff. And I mean, dude, we were getting insane budgets. We were getting like $3.5–4 million a year at that team, like big budget. I mean, this is when short course was good, and budgets like that existed. And at the end of that season, I went to the team owner, and I was like, hey, man, I'm like starting to get behind on my house payments at this point. Like, do you think I could like get paid? Like, I'm racing all 3 of your trucks, and you're parading me around like this dog and pony show, at SEMA and PRI, and I'm the face, and all these people are, so happy to be a part of this race program. Like, can I at least get like paid like $50,000 a year or something to do this? Again, I was like 22 or 23 years old. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're lucky you even get to race. Da, 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 da. And it was really bad. Like, it was like a gnarly situation, something I'd never been involved in, to be treated like that or talked to like that. And that day he's like, no, you're not getting paid. You don't deserve to get paid. I'm like, dude, I work in the shop 80 hours a week. I'm racing the trucks. Like, I'm the one like putting most of these sponsorship deals together. Nope, you're not getting paid. You ungrateful bastard. Da, da, da. I'm like, all right. And right then I just, like, I don't know, like, I feel like it was an out-of-body experience. Like, I literally just pulled my key out of the shop, and I'm like, I'm done. Yeah. I walked in the shop, and I loaded my truck that I owned in my toolbox and drove out. And I'm like, I don't know what I just did, if I just burned, like, the gnarliest bridge ever. But, like, A, I wasn't going to be talked to that way, and B, I didn't think it was fair that I was the only one there that they were selling sponsorship of, and they were getting $2 or $3, $4 million a year at the time to go race, and you can't even find anywhere in there to pay the driver something so I can live and eat. Yeah. Like, I was like, all right, I'm out. So I dipped and left the program, and I remember going home. And at the time, like, my best friend lived with me, my wife now lived there, and I had a couple buddies, and I remember we went home, and dude, we started drinking. I'm like, dude, I don't know what to do. And my best friend was like, we were hanging out by like my pool. I'm like, fuck it, let's party. So we just partied, and dude, I think we were just all sitting there, and he was like, dude, start your own team. I'm like, huh? I'm like, no way. Like, I can't start my own team. Like, I was like, that's not even an option. Like, I don't know the first thing about like starting a race team. He's like, why not? Like, you already have the truck, you have the toolbox. What else is, like, I'm like, dude, that means I gotta get a shop. Like, I need equipment. I gotta hire people. I'm like, I don't have money. I gotta get a hauler. That was like my thing, was like, I gotta get a hauler. Like, dude, there's no way. Yeah. He's like, I bet you we can pull it off. And so me and him went to work like the next day and just started pounding the pavement. And like, I called all the team's sponsors. No, sorry. The team's sponsors called me like a week later, and they're like, hey, what's this? We heard you had a falling out with the owners of the team. And I'm like, yeah, it wasn't good. It's not right. And they're like, well, what are you going to do? I'm like, honestly, I don't know, because I can't go back there. I think I might start my own thing. They're like, well, if you do, let us know. We want to be a part of it. And I'm like, what? Okay. All right. That's cool. So then, like, as me and my best friend talked more and kind of strategically started planning and talking and bullshitting our way through this, I started picking up the phone and calling all those sponsors back and being like, hey, I'm going to do my own thing. Like, can I get a budget? And I didn't even know where to start. I'm like, I don't even know, like, what kind of budgets like exist, or like how much I can ask for. And luckily the tire guy, Tony from General Tire, was like super honest with me. He's like, hey, so we're giving them $75,000 for your tire deal. We'll do that again if you want to keep it going. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Yep, for sure. So then they jumped on board. One of the wheel people jumped on board. Lunar Pages was my first title sponsor, which they were a title sponsor on the Hart and Huntington team for a while. Hart and Huntington jumped ship with me. The actual owner, like Kerry Hart and Josh Merrill, the owners of Hart and Huntington, they jumped ship and jumped on board with me. And so I was able to put it together the first year. And I remember being like, damn, what do we got to do for a hauler? And I was like, motocross used to use sick-ass box fans. So I went and bought a moving truck, like a Penske moving truck, like a legit yellow, it was a white one, Penske moving truck. And I like had this idea of like I wanted to put an awning on it. I wanted to like put a drive up lift gate in there, and the thing would sit up on benches, and we'd have work benches in there. So that's what we built out. I bought the truck for like $13,000, and I bought an awning for it. It was $15,000. The awning was more than the whole truck together. And so we built out the inside, put a side door on it, belly boxes, and like made this rad little setup, this whole full like pit, like full factory setup. Bought flooring, and like it just looked legit. And went and raced 2014 as my own team, right? And again, I think 2014 we almost won the damn championship again. It was like second or third that year in the championship, and all the partners were stoked and pumped. Rad, everything's good. And then came into 2015, and Rockstar picked me up.
Yeah.
Rockstar was like, let's do something. We see you as up-and-comer. You're crushing it. And so then that whole deal kind of rolled, and then went through 2017. And I had gotten second in the championship, the Lucas Oil Championship, like it was 2015, 2016, and 2017, like 3 years in a row. It was really close every year, like or kind of like I am now, right? Like same story. And Rockstar at the time was led by like some pretty gnarly people. And they were like, yo, second's not good enough. We're not paying you to get second. Like, you're to fucking win. Like, and if you don't win, you're fucking done. Jeez. And so, like, 2017, I got fired because I didn't win championship. Like, it came down to the last race, and they were like, did you win championship? I'm like, dude, I was like 3 points out. I just barely missed it. They're like, oh, well, sorry.
That's gnarly. That's crazy.
Yeah. And they clipped me. They fired me. And so that was like a total like blow. Like I was like, oh God, like that was another turning point in my life. I'm like, what do I do? Like now I got this semi, I got a kid, I have a wife, I have a team, like I have all this shit going on. Like I don't even know what to do. And
you're still in El Cajon at that time?
Yeah, still in El Cajon at that time. And
just keeping tabs because I know you moved around.
Yeah, no, for sure. And so it was one of those things. It was just like, all right, well, fuck, I gotta figure this out. Like I'm invested this too deep. I don't know anything else other than racing, so I better figure this out. And at time, like Bilstein had just come into the sport, and we're like kind of starting to dabble, spending some money, and getting involved. And one of the guys there was like, what are you gonna do next? I'm like, I don't know. Why don't you guys why don't you title the truck and the team? And he's like, that doesn't sound like too bad of an idea. Let me run it up the flagpole and let's see what we can come up with. And it worked out. Yeah. And they came to me like, what do you need? I'm like, well, here's what Rockstar was giving me. It wasn't enough. I need an extra $50,000 to try to win this thing. And they're like, done. And they jumped on board with me. And they've been with me ever since. So 2018 was my first year with them as like my title, all the way through, 2026 now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So they've been an amazing partner. They've been super cool to work with. Like I'm so forever grateful for Bilstein and what they've done for us. But we went out and won the championship in 2018, and then like we were like, all right, let's go to Pro2. And I'm like, I don't really quite have my ducks in a row. And honestly, I just wanted to, do it again, right? So I went out and won 2019 too. And it's like everybody's like, oh, nobody was in it, but it's like you look at who was in it. It was like Brock Hager, Mickey Thomas, like both those years. Like there was like a big group of Cole Mamer. There was a lot of guys that were in that pro light that time. That Brandon Arthur. There's a lot of really really good guys that were in it that we beat and won against. Right. So yeah, that was 2018, 2019, 2017 when I won the World Cup. Rockstar at the time, the head guy that I like, the manager was like, we don't give a shit about winning that race. We care about winning this Lucas Championship. Yeah, I'm like, I won the world championship and you're gonna fire me? Like, they're like, yep,
that's
we're
wild.
done. Yeah, so they clipped me and then hired RJ's little brother, and that's when RJ went to Rockstar, and he had I think he was like 10th the next year, like in 2018 or 2019, like in points. He was bad, and they I remember just sitting there looking, going, you guys fired me to get that guy who runs an 8th every weekend. I'm up here winning races, but hey,
that's their choice.
Shit sucks.
So now it's a new company now, though, right? Rockstar?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So when Rockstar, right after that transition, that 17, 18, 19 era, Rockstar was bought out by PepsiCo. Yeah. And PepsiCo does not believe in the motorsports model or action sports model. for advertising. So they clipped all action sports and all like motorsports aside from Supercross.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why Rockstar's been absent for so long out of so many different things. Now Celsius owns them, and Celsius is opposite. Celsius believes in the motorsports model and action sports model. So
they're smart.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and their sales show it. As a matter of fact, I had a call with the president from Rockstar today, and luckily their sales are like going through the roof and back on par, like with the way the brand used to be. Kind of restructuring, remodeling, and realigning the brand with their core fan base, I guess. So, yeah, it's a good thing.
I was going to say, I feel like energy drinks definitely fit with that core demographic audience in off-road racing.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of those things that go hand in hand, right? Like the audience and the energy drink brands and what goes on. It's just like it fits perfectly.
It does.
Yeah. That phone call didn't consist of a championship talk?
No, none of that. So
don't need any extra pressure.
No, luckily I think it's like, being later in the career, obviously it's like I've kind of proved my worth, you know what I mean? Now, like where it's like, we've won X amount of championships and we've got so many race wins or whatever. So it's cool. We're stoked to be here,
So kind of rewinding a little bit, when you drove the Pro2 for Hart and
Huntington, yep.
Hart and Huntington, that was like an old school Pro2.
Old school Pro2.
Big power.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Big power, project tires, like a fun Pro2, not these pussified versions we got now.
It's crazy how different they are from back in the day to now. And like even when the project tires went away, it changed the game.
Changed the game big time. Like if I could change anything right now, I would put Pro2 back to like real Pro2, like unlimited Pro2. That's the reason they were called Unlimited 2 and Unlimited 4s, because they were real unlimited, right? And now we got these super lame versions. They were so much more fun to drive with project tires and so much more fun to race with big open motors. And honestly, like the whole motor thing nowadays, like they cost just as much as the open motors do.
Yeah.
So it's like, why did we make all these changes and make the class so lame to like save everybody money, but it hasn't saved anybody any money?
Yeah. Hey, we have a big conversation on social media right now about Pro 4 being the premier class compared to Pro 2, and then there's all the talk about the cost of things and how things have gone, and RJ even said that Pro 2 right now is like one of the least exciting vehicles he's driven, so it's kind of interesting to hear that same kind of...
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I saw a little bit of that conversation and the stuff on social media, and anybody that says that Pro 4 isn't the premier class has never driven one.
Yeah,
I'm just going to say it that way.
Holding on for your dear life.
Like, Pro 4, like, although there is only 6, that is still the premier class. Like, that class is still bad fucking ass. Like, dude, like, the trucks are 1,000 horsepower, and they have all-wheel drive, and like the second you drive one, if anybody, all the fans listening, like there's a reason it's the premier class, is because the second you drive one, you don't want to drive anything else. Like I got to race one the first couple races this year, like, and the rest of the season you feel like you're driving a low budget go-kart at the local fun center. You know what I mean? Like it's like so lame. You're like, God, they put me back on the Pro 4 because they're so fast, they're so fun. You can do so much cool shit in them. Like, to me, Pro 4 will always be the premier class. Like, it doesn't matter how much they cost. Like, take the cost out of it. Like, take that out of the equation. Just from the fun factor of driving, like, Pro 4 is just gnarly. Like, there's nothing better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I take it from, like, the fan, not being able to, like, I haven't driven one.
Yeah.
From, like, the fan side, they're still badass trucks. Like, they're awesome to watch.
For sure.
But when there's 6 of them,
yes,
it's tough.
Yeah, no, it's tough for sure, and it's super hard. Like, I feel like we've made so many mistakes in the past 7 years as a sport with trying to make the sport more affordable instead of focusing on how to make the sport more valuable and let the sponsors pay for it, to be honest. Like, 10 years ago, 8 years ago, when Lucas had it, even when there was Midwest racing, right? Like, you saw massive budgets, but you saw better TV packages. You saw better, like, social media wasn't a thing as big then, right? Yeah. Social media has devalued a lot of forms of racing and a lot of forms of things, but I think that we focused so hard on trying to make it affordable when we should have been focusing on how to make the sport valuable.
And I feel it kind of feels like it's at the point where it'll be hard to go back.
Yeah.
We've went so far to the affordability to that side to even try to start tipping back the other way is going to be a pretty big feat.
Well, here's the thing, we've been talking about in our camp the past couple years or past year, right? So you have all these brands that jumped in on this spec tire rule, right? Kenda, a lot of smaller brands per se.
Yeah.
But what you did by allowing all those guys to come play or making it affordable for them to come play is run off the guys with real money. The BFGs, the Toyos, the Maxxis. Maxxis and Toyo are still there, but the BFGs, who else was here? Kumo was here when they had Project Tires. Like, there was a lot of brands there that spent real money, and those budgets from those bigger brands came from R&D, not from marketing, right? So when it went away from a Project Tire, there was no R&D. Now you're getting your budget from marketing. So now you're fighting for that money from marketing that wants to put money into 10,000 different options. You know what I mean? Instead of just like R&D, we need to do this and spend a bunch of money here because it's helping build better tires. Yeah. Toyo's told me that for 10 years now, that like the budgets were literally double what they would give drivers when it was R&D budget versus marketing budget.
Yeah.
So, and not only that, but like they would sponsor multiple drivers. Now Toyo, they're like, we sponsor 2 teams. That's all we're going to sponsor because the tires we're using now aren't part of an R&D budget, but we're literally pulling them off the shelf that we could be making money with.
Yeah. And
giving them to you. So it's honestly like devalued our sport by doing this so badly. Like it sucks like when you really get into it. But we kind of devalued it and got away from project tires and real race tires of an R&D budget in hopes that, smaller brands would come in and spend some money and feel like they compete. But here again, they don't. Kenda tires, I'm not going to pick on them by any means, but right, they used to sponsor a bunch of guys. Now they don't sponsor anybody. Like there's 2 guys and they're only getting tires, or they're not getting a real big monetary budget. And it sucks because I feel like it's run off more than it's actually helped. I mean, Falcon, they were the first ones like, oh yeah, we're going to come in and spend a bunch of money with a bunch of teams if it's a DOT tire, because they don't want to have to invest the money in what it took to build project tires or race tires, right? Yeah. Just the machine to buy it, I've heard, is like $1 million from Toyo. You got to buy this machine to build these project tires. They didn't want to make that investment because you don't sell any, but you R&D, you develop, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't want to do that. So they're like, hey, we're going to come in and spend a bunch of money. And they did for a year.
And now where are they?
Nowhere to be seen, right? So it's like, damn, did we kind of run off more good than what we did here by trying to make it more affordable,
Well, certainly you can make what we are just talking about, truck counts, and some certainly didn't get more trucks at the end of the day.
No. I mean, honestly, I think we probably get less because now more people have to buy the tires because the tire manufacturers are literally taking tires off their shelf from selling to give to racers, and who wants to do that? It's like a double lose for them, Yeah. So I think, honestly, we've probably run more people off by doing so because now not as many people get tire support.
Yeah. I think the lure of being able to sell a tire or race a tire that you can sell was like their marketing people were like, yes, that's what we need to do.
Yes.
We got to say that tire that's out there on the racetrack you can have on your truck.
Totally.
But in the long run, like you're saying, does the even customer even realize, okay, that's Yokohama or that's Toyo. They're not going to care what model is that. I want that on my Tacoma. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's no different than Goodyear sponsoring NASCAR, right? It's not a tire.
Yeah.
That like they run on the street. It's like a custom compound, radial tire. It's not like something you go buy. Everything they have there is custom. It's a custom race tire. Same thing with Michelin, right? Like their IMSA stuff. I mean, Hoosier with their sprint car stuff. It's like, you don't. Yeah.
I can tell you right now, I never sit back when I buy tires for my vehicle. I never go, what did I see on the race? Like, I never
Yeah.
want give it two thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I've definitely bought tires because they're in racing.
Yeah, well, you want to support the brands that support
Yeah.
the sport, obviously, but it's like you're not like making a decision because of like, oh, that tire won yesterday.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
Honestly, I think
That tire won a
sometimes,
championship.
yeah,
I need
yeah.
that tire.
Yes.
sometimes I think it might actually hurt their marketing because, like Bark River, I think it destroyed at least
Yeah,
a
how
dozen
many tires did it just kill? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're like, ooh.
And people don't realize that there's rocks out there the size of this tablet
Yeah.
that's sharp edges
Yes.
and everything,
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe it actually kind of hurts the marketing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, I think we focus so hard on trying to make this sport more affordable when we should have been focusing on how to make it more valuable.
Yeah. So talking about all the vehicles that you've driven, we know that the Pro 4 is the most fun to drive, but which one's the most challenging?
Honestly, I think the Pro 4 is probably the most challenging.
Okay.
It's the most fun, but it's the most challenging for sure because there's so much going on and they don't like to turn. They're really good at going straight, but like for the most part, most of them don't like to turn. So it's like you have to set your corner up perfect or else you understeer or push. Setup's critical on them. Like they're not like the dudes that are going fast in Pro 4 are like really good, are really, really good. Like they're set up, them with the truck, them as a driver, like they're good.
Yeah.
Where do you put driving a Pro 4 against a dirt bike?
Different for sure. Like Pro 2 is like driving a dirt bike. Like for sure, I feel like Pro 2. It's rear wheel drive. You don't have like, you don't have like this all wheel dig, type deal. Pro 2 is a lot like a dirt bike. Pro 4 is like, I don't even know how to compare it to anything else, to be honest. Like, it's like probably the closest thing would be like a fighter jet. I don't know. Like, it's just crazy, like how fast they accelerate. Like at least in the Pro 4 I've gotten to drive, like it'll literally smack your head against the back of the seat when you like launch on it and like take off.
Yeah.
Like you got to hold your head back in the seat to launch.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So now that you got that taste of the Pro 4, do you have plans for the future to take and build one or get one or?
We're going to race the Pro 4 at Crandon and we're going to race it at Glen Helen, is the plan right now.
Okay.
I was able to land a sponsor, Gulu, new brand from China coming over to the States, selling a battery jumper kit.
Oh.
It's basically also an air compressor and this little pack about this big. It's pretty badass. Anyways, they came to me and the series, and they wanted to be a part of what we have going on. They think it's the perfect demographic and fan base to get involved with. So they put up some money for me to run the Digging Deeper Pro 4, the last two races this year. But over the past 8 months, I've been building myself a new Pro 4 that I'm hoping to debut at Glen Helen. So
Awesome.
you heard it here first. But yeah, no, so been playing with that. The big thing for that, again, is, I have a partner, Chevrolet, who's been a great partner of mine. They want to be able to play in a class where they can actually do stuff and they can flex their muscles and they can show their talents and their skills at building a badass wild motor. Yeah. Where with Pro 2, they can't do that. It's stuck in this rule box that they can't do anything with. And it's cool, right? Pro 2 is cool. But for a partner like that, that's a manufacturer that wants to be able to flex and show their muscles and show what they can do, they want to play in a class that they can actually tune the engine and work on the engine and build an engine that they still make, right? Like, problem with the Pro 2 is, it's an engine they made 30 years ago.
Yeah.
It's cast iron block, small block Chevy. They made it 30 years ago, but they don't make nothing like that anymore. So they're like, it's cool, but we want to play in, somewhere where our NASCAR engine can compete against the Toyota NASCAR engine or whatever.
That's what I was about to say. That's super exciting to hear because in Pro 2 you're so boxed in.
Yeah.
Like the Toyotas can't even go into the Pro 2 because of the cylinder head issues.
Yes.
So for them to be excited about going and flexing and
that's
trying to make,
honestly,
a statement.
there's no way I could afford to do it. You know what I mean? They're the only ones and the only reason that are making it happen. So we committed to building the truck. It's just about done. I'm really excited about it and excited to get to go play with Chevy in that class.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So the digging deeper one you're doing at Crandon.
Yep.
So the ring is on your mind?
Honestly, if I had to pick, I'd probably run the Pro2 at the Cup race.
Okay.
I feel more comfortable in it. Like I feel like I'll be able to race better and harder in the Pro2 than I would the Pro4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because you're comfortable.
Comfortable in it. It's set up. Starting out front, like I feel like I have a better chance to whole shot that race and run away with it than I would to like come through in that other Pro4. Like it's a good Pro4. It's super fast. Like I said,
Yeah.
I'm just not as comfortable driving it yet. You know what I mean? It's for me, like I've gotten so used to driving a low CG car. That truck's a little taller CG. So I feel like I'm sitting in a monster truck when I sit in the thing compared to when I sit in my Pro2.
Yeah.
And it's like literally 4 inches difference is all it is. But like I just sitting up like this, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna flip.
Yeah, some guys like to sit tall, and I like to be on the floorboard.
Yeah, I'm like, sit me on the floorboard. I can barely see over the dash. I feel like I'm low.
Yep. So, are you utilizing Crandon for some of that Chevy testing, or is that all going to be focused at Glen Helen?
It'll probably all be focused at Glen Helen.
Okay.
Yep. By the time, right now we're waiting on a wiring harness from Luke Stubbs. As soon as that's there, the truck will be ready to fire up. We'll fire it here in Green Bay at Luke's shop, and we'll run it on the chassis dyno first here before we head west. But as soon as it's done and fired, we're headed west to go test.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
pretty excited.
So that means there's going to be some new paint schemes coming out, I'm assuming?
Yep. We got a couple of them.
That's awesome. That's always fun to see different things for different races. Like that's the part I enjoy.
Yeah, no, that was an idea I had a couple years ago. It's honestly, it's quite expensive to do it, but I really enjoy doing it because it keeps it fun, keeps it exciting for the fans. It gives us a reason to do merch and stuff like that. It kind of helps create some extra avenues of revenue. When we mix it up like that. So Crandon, we're gonna have a couple new ones and some fun ones. I think everybody will really enjoy. So we're excited about that.
Awesome. All right. You've been in so many different classes. Who do you think the highest skilled competitor is that you've raced against?
Man, there's a lot. There's a lot of guys out there that like over the years that like you get racing with and you're just like, damn, like they're just good, right? They're just good. Like I could name so many of them. Rob Mack, I mean, dude, he's just phenomenal. Like he is just damn good. There's a couple people that like obviously that are still racing it. Like I've never really raced with CJ. I haven't gotten a whole lot of opportunity to race with CJ. But like watching CJ, he's one of those guys you're just like, damn, he's just good. Mickey Thomas, he's another one that like we've raced against each other for a long time, and the dude's just fucking good. Like he's just good. He's calculated. He's smooth. He's just good. He's just one of those racers that every time you race him, you're gonna have a challenge, right? Like there's no cakewalk with racing with him. I'm trying to think through some of the other guys. Jarrett Brooks, he's always been just freaking good. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like people like that, like you don't see make mistakes, right? Like the guys that like barely make mistakes. I mean, hell, Kyle Greaves, another one. I mean, the dude doesn't make mistakes. He's good, right? Yeah. Like he rarely makes mistakes. When he's on, he's on. There's just so many of them. Like thinking through, like Brock Hager, another one that's just good.
I mean, Brock is like unstoppable this last season.
Yeah. I mean, R.J. Anderson, just good. Deegan, just good. Keegan's good. Keegan's really good. Another one. There's just a lot. All the standouts are standouts for a reason. You know what I mean? So they're good. They're all badass and they all talented and they all work hard. And, there's no cakewalk. I wish we could get all of us in one class like it was back in the Lures day, where it was like all the best of the best of the best in one class. Like you have 20 trucks and they're all like just bad motherfuckers.
We just need like a good go-kart place and have an invitational.
Right.
Someone to put up some.
I don't think you'd have any go-karts left at that point, though.
Yeah. That's why we need a good go-kart place, one they're not already falling apart, because they're gonna be put.
They're
through
gonna
hell.
be junked.
Yeah.
So other than the competition side, kind of flipping it, because you kind of get, bring celebrities into the track. Who's like a guest celebrity you wish you could get into a truck or drive a truck? that you haven't been
We've
able
had a lot of conversations. You know, I would love to get, you know, a Dale Jr. in a truck. I would love to get, you know, one we've worked actively, are still working towards trying to make it happen, make sense, was Daniel Ricciardo. That one's, it's been close, but hasn't happened yet. So, not to say it won't happen or it's gonna happen, but we've been working on it. And could it happen? Sure. I mean, it could. I mean, all the stars could align tomorrow and it could happen. So, you know, we've been working on Daniel Ricciardo.
I'd like to see the data on that one when he comes out of the vehicle, because the steering wheel input and everything's got to be just twitchy.
You know, there's been a couple of them that were like, you know, NASCAR guys, you know, where we're like, all right, let's do something. Austin Dillon, we talked about, you know, giving Austin Dillon a shot to do it. Schedules just never align. And honestly, like being in North Carolina, it's opened all the doors, but what's hard about, like, once you open all these doors, I don't have a place for them to test, right? There's no tracks there, right? So it's like, cool that I opened all the doors, but now that I'm moving here, now we have a place to test, right? If we can get them on a plane or whatever up here for a day, I can run up to Lena or run to Crandon, you know what I mean, and get them in a truck right away, and a nice, easy thing. All those guys, like those celebrity type guys, their schedules are so busy that, you know, it's hard for them to get on a plane and make it a 2-day event by the time they fly up here, get in a truck, drive it, fly back, you know, that type of deal. So, I mean, those are probably like some of the, I would love to see Dale Jr., Ricardo in it. I think, I don't know, like Danger Boy Deegan grew up around it.
Yeah.
So, you know, he knows it. It'd be fun to get him in a truck. I don't think he's got any interest in it. But I think some of those guys would be fun. Anybody that's going to help us move the damn needle at this point, I'm down to get in the truck.
Cletus.
Cletus. I've talked to Cletus. Me and Garrett have talked quite a bit. A lot of times the sponsorship doesn't quite align in certain brands and whatnot and so forth. But would love to get Cletus in it for sure.
Yeah, that would be even getting down to his track and holding some type of event would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Last time me and him raced together was SST trucks, and he thought I wrecked him, so he was mad at me when he left. But I met Garrett and the whole like 1320 crew. Like, dude, it was 2014, 2013 at SEMA show, and they like were just starting their YouTube channel. So that's how long we've known each other and been like friends. And I mean, I can text him right now type deal, like, and he'd reply, "What's up, dude?" You know, but he would be another good one. I didn't even think of that one. That's a good one. He'd be a good one, but just whatever we can do to move this freaking needle.
I'd like to. Is Roxon coming just for Crandon, or are we talking Glen Helen too?
I don't know.
Okay,
they'll be there both.
Okay,
yeah, he'll be at Crandon and at Glen Helen.
I think that's really also like a good movement too, is to have them at more than just one.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it feels like, I mean, then when the general comes, he's raced before, so he's just got to knock the rust off.
Yeah.
But for these guys that haven't done this before, for them to only come for one race, it's kind of like, oh man, what would happen if?
Yeah, no, Roxon's there, dude. Like when we tested the other day, like just it's only his second time in the truck, like since Glen Helen, right? Like he raced Glen Helen, and then we tested it at Crandon the other day, and like, dude, he's right there. Like he's only a second off my pace.
Yeah.
Like so. He's super talented, right? And, you know, it's only his second time, so he's super excited to be doing it. You know, he's having fun with it, and I could see him doing a lot more here in the near future.
Yeah. He bought like it's a truck, but weird engine package though, right? Didn't he? Oh, okay. I thought I'd seen him do some YouTube content with a truck that they were like jumping and hitting targets and stuff.
Maybe I don't know nothing about it.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, Crandon, he'll be racing my Pro2.
Okay.
Or my backup Pro2. Same one he raced at Glen Helen last year. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, pretty excited about it. It's always fun having somebody like that there. You know, it helps bring more eyeballs to our sport. You know, and gives us a little boost in morale and value.
Yeah. So aside from the aspect of you bringing the celebrity drivers in, you also usher in a lot of like young, new, fresh drivers. Wyatt Miller probably being one of the more notable ones.
Yeah.
And he's still in it. How's that process kind of been with dealing with.
It's been fun. Like, I mean, it's been really cool to be able to, usher in some of these younger kids. Gray Ledbetter was the first one we ushered in, and no, she wasn't. She was the first, like, fully funded, supported driver that we brought in. We had Mason Prater, we had Carson Parrish that came and raced through our program.
Oh, yeah.
We've had quite a few kids that have come and raced through our program. It's been a lot of fun, It's beneficial for both parties most of the time. Wyatt's deal is a little different because it's a Chevy deal, and so is Gray's. But like Carson and Mason Prater, their parents just looked at it from a business aspect where it's like, okay, we can team up with Ryan and pay Ryan X amount to run our program, or we can go rent a shop, we can buy all the equipment, we can fill it with people, and then we can run the truck. Or we just, pay Ryan to run the truck and, it's included in it type deal. So from a business aspect, they chose that was the safer, better route for them and their financial situation at the time. But with Gray and Wyatt, it's been a true development thing where we've been trying to teach them and grow them and try to help them get to that next level of racing. With Wyatt's is a little different. Obviously, we kind of know the trajectory he's on and where he's headed. Yeah. But in the meantime, we want to be able to develop him so that when he gets in that car, gets in that Xfinity car, NASCAR, Cup car, whatever it may be, he can look back and account some of his skill and technique from off-road. I mean, Jimmy Johnson's a 7-time champion,
yeah.
You know what I mean, and came from this world. So there's something to be said for that. Riley Herbst, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, there's a lot of guys. Zane Smith, guys that came from the off-road world that are crushing it in NASCAR right now,
Yeah, when that rear end steps out, he'll just be like,
they know what to do, yes. Exactly.
This is normal.
Yep, exactly.
This is how we used to always race.
Yeah, so that's kind of the main goal, is developing these kids and helping them learn and understand setup and get them to the next level. That's all it's about.
On the flip side of that, is it hard to, right now when he's going and doing roundy round, it's like sprint or quarter midget?
Yep.
Is it hard?
Or like what was it? It's micro sprints.
Micro sprints, okay.
Yeah.
Is it hard to get his mindset switched back? Because sometimes it's like one weekend after another, even a couple days separation.
Yeah, this year is the first year where we've experienced a little bit of that. Like, hey, are we pushing him too hard and having him race too many different things, Yeah. I don't think so. The kid's super talented. The kid's probably one of the most talented individuals I've ever met when it comes to driving a race car and being in a race car. So sometimes, you get that second question or that doubt in your mind a little bit. But for the most part, I don't think so. I think that, he's still only 14, right?
Yeah.
He's still a kid. He's still developing, and he's going to have good days and he's going to have bad days, right? Like, I mean, all of us. But I think in the long run, yeah, some of that stuff may hurt a short time with him, but in the long run, it'll pay off, right? Like right now, having so many different things and maybe gets them mixed up once in a while or whatever. But in the long run, when he's 20, 25 years old, he's going to crush it.
Yeah.
He's going to be so good.
Yeah, I think he can also, like, from my perspective too, like those tough times or incidents that might happen in the off-road track, like he can learn how to bounce back and
Totally, yep.
take that with him forward.
Yep, and how to be better and what got us in those situations, how we got there, what, whatever it may be, it's one of those things in like any form of racing, you kind of got to lose before you learn how to win type deal, right?
Yeah.
Some of those kick in the nuts, some of those, hard days, help create who you're going to be, moving forward. So,
yeah, I think like the first year that he had, there was but there was on occasion incidents that were contact or like shifter issues or whatever that he had to work through.
Yep.
And I think that is showing progress.
Oh, for
it
sure.
It definitely helped him further down the line, just like you've been talking.
Yeah, I mean, this year, we've had our number of issues of just weird fluke stuff that happens, and you can't it's like that sophomore slump, his second year, right? Like, and unfortunately, I'd say the majority of it's been in the truck, but he's been a good trooper. He still has faith in us and still wants to keep moving forward, and goes out and gives it 110% effort after every kick in the nuts we get. He still's ready to go and go kick ass. So we can't thank him for being the driver that he is, and continuing to have heart and continuing to stick with it. So we're just it's part of that learning curve and part of growing up and having fun.
That sophomore slump is a real deal.
It is a real deal.
I think I've seen it more times than I care to count.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Has there ever been times that Wyatt has turned the tables and the student has become the teacher?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. It's coming.
It's
Not
coming.
yet. Not yet, for sure.
Yeah. So, you got any more questions on that, or want to move on to?
We can go.
All right.
Move on.
So the Off-Road Hall of Fame gala, if I'm saying that right, is right around the corner. Legend of the hometown of your hometown is being inducted. Who else do you think also should be a potential inductee in the short course world?
That's a hard question. You know what I mean? It's I feel like off-road's like its own little niche. It's like its own, especially short course. It's like its own little world, and not many people know about it.
Yeah.
I feel like anybody that has elevated the sport or has brought the sport to the public light, like made it bigger than what it really is, deserves to be in that deal, to be in that off-road Hall of Fame. Obviously, all the standouts that have won a bunch of races or championships. I mean, anybody that's done that deserves to be in it. But I can't really name any off the top of my head right this second. I'm like, all right, that guy deserves it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I think anybody that's helped the sport in a positive light grow deserves to be in there for sure.
Yeah. It was kind of surprising to me to see that Ricky Johnson is getting inducted this year. I was like, man, I would have thought he would have been in already.
Yeah, no, that's it. I mean, he definitely deserves to be in, of all people, for sure. I wish his ass was still involved in short course, but
yeah, he's still doing desert stuff.
Yep, still doing desert stuff. But yeah, no, he definitely deserves to be in there for sure.
Yeah, I think some of the more memorable races I've seen was him racing or him announcing.
Yeah.
He's always got a good talent for announcing.
Yeah,
too.
he's a great announcer. He's very educated in the fact of like what's going on with our sport. You know what I mean, and where it goes. I mean, me and Ricky still talk. Probably twice or three times a year. So it's cool to hear from him, and he likes to give me shit all the time.
Yeah.
So speaking of fame, I heard you might have been in a movie potentially, Fast and Furious.
Yeah, I was in the Fast and the Furious. I think it was Fast and Furious 7.
Yep.
I got invited by Hart and Huntington to go out and be part of the background deal. And that day they were having some troubles with some of the cars and drivers, and the Hart and Huntington guy at the time was like, "Hey, Beat races that truck, like he can go drift it." And they're like, "You can?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I got to go out and go do drifting, and got to drift with some of the cars, and we ended up filming for like 2 hours, filming this one scene. They wanted me to drift up close to the wall and drag a fender in an off-road truck, and so it's a split second at the very beginning of the movie, but yeah, I'm in it drifting the truck like right past the wall, so yeah. It's pretty cool.
I watched it last night because I was like, I don't even know if I remember it.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I've watched it.
Yeah.
Like the Fast and the Furious kind of fell off for me after they started doing James Bond stuff.
Yeah,
but
yeah, exactly.
I watched it and I was like, all right, which one would he be? It's got to be one that he's driving on dirt.
Yeah. No, it was on pavement, honestly. It's right at the beginning. It's on a pavement. They were like doing like a drift pad or whatever and filming girls and all kinds of crazy stuff going on. And they're like, "Hey, drift right here by the wall like you come sliding across."
Yeah.
That's what it did.
Awesome. I'm going to rewatch the beginning now.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Were any of the famous actors there during that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were all there. Like, all of them. Paul Walker was there. Everybody was there. It was cool.
That's really awesome.
Cool. Yeah. It was cool to be a part of. Cool to see how it goes down and, like, how big those movies are. And, like, truly, like, how big that movie was. Car culture, that movie. Like, it's legit. Like, it's pretty cool.
Which car is your favorite out of that series?
I don't know. I always like the old school muscle cars. Those are always my favorite. They're like Dom drives. Like,
yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, and they jacked that one up, the Charger.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, there was a shop in San Diego that built that car. Okay. It was a ProLite chassis under that car is what it was. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Sense. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah,
I got to see it before it actually went on to the show or whatever when they were building it. It was rad.
Yeah, there was like another one that was like a 4400 car or something like that.
Really?
And I was like, But it looked like almost like a UTV, but it was full live axle. So I'm like, alrighty.
That's cool.
They're getting creative on this stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, in the past 5 years, who do you think is the most aggressive driver in your class?
Currently or
In the past 5
come and
years.
gone past 5 years?
Could be this season, could be.
Like it's aggressive altogether or with me?
All together.
Your choice.
All together. We won't get you in too much trouble.
Most aggressive driver. There's guys out there that just pull absolute bonehead moves. And then there's guys that are like calculated dicks. Right? And there's some guys that like, right, there's rivalries that go on, so you get extra aggressive with your rivalries.
Yeah.
But like the most aggressive, I'm trying to think, man. There's been so many guys I've raced with over the years. In Pro2? It's weird because everybody's like Ricky G's like so aggressive, but usually he's not too aggressive with me. It's probably because we're good friends, you know. I respect his style. You know, he's aggressive. He wants to win. He'll run into you and not give a fuck until he'll do it again, which is kind of cool. But I don't think he's the most aggressive. Like, trying to think who's out there, who's been out there. I don't know.
Who showed up last
Keegan's really aggressive.
Yeah.
Keegan's really aggressive, at least with me. You know what I mean? He's really aggressive. I watch him with other people too. I guess he's pretty aggressive. You know, hard racer, you know, wants to win, and I respect that.
Yeah. Who was the guy that showed up last year for just Crandon?
Oh, Morris. I didn't even think about him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's pretty gnarly. Yeah. He's pretty gnarly. Like, you know, in one sense, I see where he's coming from because he's not there to make friends. He's not there to race a full season. He's just there to come fuck shit up and win, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what he went for.
Yeah.
It's
I think he
respectable.
took a lot of fans by surprise too, because
Totally, for sure. He's fast. He's a really good driver.
Yeah.
Like he really is a really good driver and is really fast. Always has been. But he's also had that side where he pisses a lot of fucking people off in the doing so. You know what I mean? Which I guess when you don't have to be there full time or you don't have to worry about sponsorship,
Yeah.
you can kind of have that fuck
Yeah.
it mentality and attitude.
Well, plus, he raced years ago.
Yeah. Race
So,
short course years
I
ago.
don't know if he got the memo that they kind of like tightened up on rules.
Yeah, no.
He's just like, this is how we do it, right?
Well, I mean, back in the day, like, because I raced when he raced, right, pro light, and nobody was really as dirty as what he was when he came back, right? Like, nobody raced that dirty back then. They raced aggressive, but not like kind of borderline dirty, where it just smash you and not give a fuck and then tell you to fuck off. And that's what we saw from him last year, which was kind of, I guess, surprising for me and a lot of people, because when he raced before, he was so fast that he didn't need to race that way. Like, and it's like he came back with like a vengeance of something to prove.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, he by far is the most aggressive that I've raced with in the past probably 10 years for sure.
Where does Robbie Woods fall on that?
Robbie Woods is probably a close second to him for sure. Me and Robbie have had we've had one battle that was like literally trying to hurt each other, like through the truck. And it was like borderline laughing, but like, because we were buddies at the time, it was Challenge Cup race. I was in the Pro 4 coming through the pack, and he was in the Pro 2. I think he was second. He was second, and I was coming through, and I passed him. And once he saw it was me and the guy that he like helped build a truck and essentially helped kind of shape career with, he was trying to kill me. Like, he tried to turn me sideways off every jump and every corner. And I went into the last corner finally, and I'm like, I've had enough of this asshole. And I hit him so hard, door, like it punted him out of the way. Like, we were just talking about it the other night and laughing, and he's like, dude, you hit me hard. I'm like, I know. I didn't realize I hit you that hard till I just watched it nowadays. Like, back then, I'm like, whatever. And now, like, I'm like, oh, damn, I hit him hard. So, like, I think, you know, again, I guess it's perspective and how you stand with that person in racing. You know, I'd say those two guys are probably the most aggressive racers. but I also probably respect those guys a lot and what they do, right? Like you kind of got to have respect for that guy that just doesn't give a fuck and has that doesn't care attitude. Like it's pretty cool. Like when you can let go and be at that point mentally of just being like, I don't care, fuck it, like, all right, you got some balls, dude. Good for you. Like, so there's some respect there for sure for both those guys.
Now, I'm trying to read between his lines on his post and stuff. So maybe you know a little bit more, but is he making a return to
Robbie?
Yeah.
He's been saying he's making a return for the past 10 years.
Okay.
So I hope so. Like he's one of my good friends, and I encourage him to do so. I think our sport needs a Robbie Woods again. Yeah. Needs a guy that excites things up and gets everybody's heart racing going again. I hope he does. He says he's going to. I know he's focused on his business and stuff right now. He's doing really good things with his business, and that's the one thing about Robbie. Like, when he focuses on something, he's probably one of the most talented fabricators I've ever met in my life. And he's always been like, I don't want to say scatterbrained, but like he got a lot going. He's very, very smart, right? Yeah. So he's got a lot going on. And if you could just get him to focus on one thing, he'd be ultra successul. Yeah. And I think that's what he's doing right now. He's focused on his business, and he's got dreams and hopes and wants to go back to short course racing and says he's going to. But hopefully he does it sooner than later.
Yeah. Well, maybe he'll join you in Pro2 then.
Yeah, me and him have plenty of keyboard warrior battles going on almost weekly about Pro2. So
perfect. Keep on building it up.
Yep, exactly.
2027's right around the corner.
Yes, exactly. 27's around the corner. I mean, even the other day he posted, he's like, I'm winning Crandon, whatever. I'm winning the 60th at Crandon or something like that. I'm like, you mean when you're 60? He got so mad. That's the friendship we have. We like to razz each other and get each other fired up. And I hope he comes back. We need some more excitement guys. We need some more guys, that make. That was one thing I respect about Robbie Woods is he was aggressive, but he was clean. Like he'd always race like aggressive, and he'd door you and he'd run into you, but it was never like flatten your tire, like not chicken shit type of racing. Like he would race you hard, door you, hit you dead square from behind, stuff like that. But like he would never pit maneuver you. He'd never try to flatten your tire. He wouldn't chicken shit race you. Yeah. He wanted to beat you heads up, which Bradley Morris is pretty much the same way. So yeah. I think that's why I respect those guys. Like they're rough and they're gnarly, but they're not chicken shit racers.
Yeah. Heck, 2027 Bradley Morris could be in a Pro2 too.
Could be.
He's got one, I think.
No, it's sold.
Oh, it's sold?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Darn, I got to stop spreading the rumor.
But maybe they build a new one,
There's some out there, just nobody knows where they all are.
Yeah, there's a lot of trucks all over the place. Nobody out there racing, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right, so talking about a little bit of aggressiveness, I got kind of a hot topic here. So race control always seems to handle the disciplinary action for like if somebody spins somebody out or pit maneuvers somebody. But I'm starting to see it more and more and more in the last couple seasons where vehicles are over-rotating and getting into another vehicle or over-rotating and becoming a roadblock. And the people behind them get punished, and there's no punishment for the person that does the over-rotating. Do you think that there's room to start handing out disciplinary action for over-rotating and causing...
No, I don't agree with that. I think that you over-rotate, right? It's on you, right? You're most likely... I mean, I did it straight up. I clipped a tractor tire at Wheatland this year, round 2.
Okay.
And over-rotated. Keegan drove through me. But I do think that there is some disciplinary action for the guy behind because they're technically supposed to check up.
Yeah.
Right? They're supposed to check up and not drive through you. At Wheatland, perfect example, I clip a tractor tire and I barely hooked the tractor tire with the front fender and it spun the truck sideways quicker than I could even react. And Keegan tried to slow up and then he gassed it and drove through me, right? And it was spinning me all the way out. In that situation, did I deserve a flag for clipping a tractor tire and over rotating? No. I don't think anybody does, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's part of racing. People spin out, shit happens, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's one of those things that has to be reviewed. That the guy behind you, they got to check up, or they can't drive through. You know what I mean? I get it to an extent. It kind of sometimes helps driving through somebody so that they can get going again, right? Like, perfect example, Crandon last year, me and Keegan, last corner, right? I got in hot and I tried to rough him up and get him sliding, and he ended up over-rotating. Had I not driven through him, he would have been stuck at the wall like this.
Yeah,
but if I drove through him, he could just throw it in reverse and back up over across the finish line and still get second, was my thought on it, right? But the fact that I didn't check up and I gassed it through him and finished him off is why I got black flagged. Lost my position there at the Pro2 World Championship.
Yeah.
So I think it's a by case situational thing that they have to be able to review, and honestly, we need people in the tower that understand that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And now, what went on this weekend, I can't be the judge of any of that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want to be in those guys' shoes. I feel bad for all those race directors as it is, and the confrontations and the shit that they have to review and go through, and you either ruin somebody's day or you get bitched at. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I would not want to be in those guys' shoes.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
I think too, like the hard ones that we've seen in recent years is like off course, right? Like when someone's off course, where do you draw some of those lines, or cutting the course, or?
Yeah, it's hard. You know what I mean? Were they shoved off course to begin with? You know what I mean? Coming back on, off the track, off the gas, but is there cliffs? Is there tractor tires where if you get off the gas, you're going to hit them or you're going to flip? Or I think it's got to be all by case situational. You know what I mean? It's going to be a by case scenario. Like, you got to be able to take all things into account and factor in everything to really be able to make a decision on things.
I think Ricky G's been making some really good footage to be reviewed this year on them deciding if it's cutting the course or.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, look at what Holcher did to him, right? Like, where it's like, did Holcher turn into him? You know what I mean? Or did Ricky come over? Like, you don't know, right? Like, and it's again just by case situational. Ricky, you know,
we're talking Park River.
Yeah. I mean, when Holcher got into Ricky and Ricky flipped at ERX, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, like, how do you get a clear view of what really went on, right? Like,
yeah,
you have drone footage, and in the heat of the moment, what decision do you make? And, you know, but the one thing you have to be is consistent.
Yeah.
As a race director, you have to be consistent. You can't rule one way 1 minute and the other way the next minute, and that's what gets people fired up and creates uncertainty, if you will. Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be those guys, man. That's a tough job. That's a tough role to hold. And, you know, I think everything has to be situational. Like, what's the situation? What are all the variables involved in that situation? And you have to kind of look at it. Do these guys have a track record of trying to kill each other? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, did two corners before, did somebody pick the fight? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
And to your point too, it's so tough because it comes down to the track, like the footage.
Yes.
And what is there? One drone?
Yeah, one drone, and then not only that, but like, you're kind of forcing the situation to happen when you have such shitty track prep at all of your races. Like, if there's only one line to race for, these guys are gonna get rough.
Yeah, like, they're all fighting for the same space.
They're all fighting for the same space. You know what I mean? Give them a track wide enough and prepped well enough from edge to edge, and I guarantee that shit don't happen.
Yeah. So looking back at when 2025 we added Wheatland and then also Glen Helen. Now that we're 2 years into that, do you think Wheatland was a good ad?
Wheatland's always been a hard sell because of the town it's in and where it's at so far out. Is the facility badass? Absolutely. Is it a valuable venue? No.
Yeah.
That's where I am on it too. Like, facility racing's been awesome.
I love it. I love the track. I love the people. I love the facility. It's so sick.
Yeah.
But my God, like, you can't, like,
it's tough to get to. And
how do you, like, for me, like, the brands that sponsor me and support me, they want people in those grandstands and they want it packed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish the Ozarks had more following to the off-road, because The Ozark is just as close as Green Bay is to Crandon
For
or
sure, yeah.
Park River.
Yeah.
So distance isn't the problem, and it's just as remote.
Yeah.
You're going up into Park River. I mean, you don't even know what time zone you're in.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, yeah. You can literally cross timelines like within 5 foot walking around.
So I think if you can capture that audience that's in that town, because Ozarks is massive.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, Ozarks would be good. There's so many of them that we could go to that would help.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that like I hear from a lot of my partners is just the fact that like this area is just so saturated, and it's the same fan base, and it's the same people. They need new people. They need multiple people. Part of the reason that Glen Helen event's so successful is perfect example, right? Toyo tires. They're like, why don't you support racing, Crandon? Why don't you support it up here in Midwest? They're like, well, here's one of the things. We went back there a couple of years and we walked through the parking lot, and how many people in that parking lot, how many vehicles had new tires on them, A. B, all 4 were matching tires, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you look at that, like most of the tires bought are like off of Craigslist or recycled or what, like people aren't going out and buying tires, right? So they're like, man, do we really want to put our marketing efforts there where there's not a whole lot of spend, right? Or put effort there. You go through Glen Helen, you walk through the parking lot, and it's freaking Escalade, and it's F-250, and it's Raptor, and it's Silverado, and it's all these trucks that are jacked up and lifted, and you know what I mean? All of them have matching tires, and they all got, a couple $1,000s worth of tires on them.
So they're spending their money in the world that we're advertising.
So they're spending their money in the world that we're advertising.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and I think it's a good point. We talked about this a while back, but Anago and Crandon are super close to each other in the map. But then not only that, they put the races close to each other.
On top of each other?
Yeah.
No,
So-
I know. It's like, I feel bad for Crandon. I feel bad for Anago because it's like, if I was a fan and I wasn't there racing, to take a family of 4 to Anago and then a week later to Crandon, it ain't happening. It's too expensive. You know what I mean? There's no way. Right? So then now I'm forced to choose, okay, do I want to go to Anago the first part of the year and then fall Crandon, because you're going to fall Crandon at the end of the year. You're probably not going to go to Spring Crandon. You're going to see 2 different tracks if given the option, which sucks because then now you just devalued Spring Crandon, right?
Yeah.
And we need Spring Crandon to be valuable because it holds more people. It's, honestly a better place to be at as far as sponsorship goes, but it's hard, man. I get it.
I feel like that part of the schedule could like separate those tracks.
Yes.
From being so close might be beneficial.
Yeah.
But it gets tough
And
timing.
where do you put it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the next thing goes like it's such a like fuck deal because, right? Everybody wants the base schedule around Fall Crandon being the last race of the year, and I get it. It's cool, but we have 4 other months that we can keep racing throughout the country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, we can keep racing. So are we going to stop our racing now? And then, it's so seasonal dependent that we can't race till June up here. And then we got to stop by September. It doesn't give us a whole big window. You know what I mean? So you kind of got it. Like at some point we all, as a team, as in short course, needs to decide, does Fall Crandon really need to be the last race of the year? If it doesn't, then we all need to be like, okay, that's fine. We can race Glen Helen in October, and in November we can race Firebird or whatever, you know what I mean? Like we can race other parts throughout the country, and we don't have to stack all these races on top of each other in such a small condensed area. Like, you guys were at Glen Helen, you saw how valuable short course is there. People freaking love it, so.
Grandstand stacked and then some.
Yes,
There's like standing
room only. And there wasn't even standing room. Like, I remember being on the podium looking out and going, oh my God, this place is packed. Like, couldn't even walk to our pit after the race,
Because in front of the grandstands, there's like 4 deep of people standing.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like that is probably the second most valuable event to Crandon. And like it was, I don't want to say it was a half-ass effort, but it was kind of like, all right, like we don't know if this is going to work this year. And we showed up and sold the place out, right? Yeah. So I think we have to, as a sport, start looking at like, obviously we can't be held back to just do the same thing we've always done, or else we're not going to have a sport left. And we got to be where the sponsors see value. And if the sponsors don't see value, racing every race in a 400-mile radius, like, we have to do something. Like,
Yeah.
like, kind of at that point now where we're like, all right, we got to do something.
So do you think Glen Helen will carry the same amount of hype
Yeah.
this year that it did
sure.
last year?
I have probably, last year we had 300 people text me that wanted tickets and wanted to come, and I probably have double that already of people, hey, save me a spot, hey, give me tickets, hey, is there RV camping? We're going to bring our RV, and my neighbor's bringing his RV, and we're going to camp out for the weekend. You're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
That will be the interesting part of,
Yeah.
can it expand enough to hold the demand?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it'll be really good. I think it'll be what it was last year plus some, because so many people have heard the hype and heard how cool it was, and we're only there one time a year.
Yeah.
They're like, we're making sure and getting to it. That'd be like if you only had one Crandon a year.
Yeah.
There'd probably be 80,000 people there because they can only get to it one time.
That was my concern when the schedule wasn't formed yet for this year and there was talk about like Firebird or
Yep.
something. I was concerned that, all right, if you have 2 West Coast venues, even if you spread them out, does that dilute down one or the other?
No, because they're too far away.
Okay.
So like from Glen Helen to where Firebird event is, it's 7 hours.
Yeah.
7
That's
hours.
the only like viable track within.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So, I mean, it's far enough away where it's a completely different market, and you're not going to get the people from California to drive to Phoenix, and you're not going to get the Phoenix people to drive to California.
Yeah.
So, that event will be just as valuable if it happens, as the California one, because when we would race there, the night races, I mean, it would sell out just as busy as Glen Helen was that night. Like, it's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun, and I've heard even more like local Midwest people go, oh, we got to go this year because we heard last year was so rad.
Yeah.
And so it's like now we're even getting people that want to come from the Midwest out there.
Yeah, no, and it's good. I mean, we need to, because then I think once people get out there and see it, they're like, oh, now it makes sense, right? Like, unless you've been there and lived it and seen the value there and how many sponsors come out and how many people show up, like you're like, oh yeah, it might happen. Then you get there. It's no different than the West Coasters going to Crandon for the first time. You're like,
Yeah.
holy shit, you know what I mean? It's just like your eyes are this big,
Yeah.
I think that what you said was the biggest thing I took away too, was the amount of sponsors that showed up at Glen. Like, so many race teams had their sponsors there
Oh, yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's close for everybody.
It's close for everybody. It's like the Mecca, right? And then it's easy for them to get out. I mean, no different. I mean, I invited the whole Rockstar crew to Crandon. Like, hey, I have a VIP thing. Like, come out. Nah, but we'll be there for Glen Helen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's close. Like,
Yeah.
like you kind of. That's why I was so surprised. Like that, when Johnny and CJ were like, "We're not going," west. You have Monster, you have TRD, you have Toyo. That are all literally within an hour of Glen Helen's racetrack. Like all of your biggest corporate sponsors. Like, I don't know how you get away with not going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it. I think it's an event that we all have to support and get on board with at some point.
I just hope that maybe payout or whatever can come around for it.
See, but
because-
like I fully disagree. To be honest with you, like payout. We shouldn't be relying on payouts. If we have a valuable event or venue,
yeah.
the
Or
payout. I mean,
sponsorship.
what's another $500 for a win? Like it doesn't get you shit, right? But if we go to that event and get you another 10,000 from a sponsor,
Yeah.
that's where it makes sense. You know what I mean? So again, I think we kind of got to shift our focus with a lot of things we do within this sport of like, right, like. Are we focused on making it cheaper, or should we focus on making the sport more valuable? Okay. Are we focused on purses, or should we focus on making sure that we have a better TV package? You know what I mean? If they came to me tomorrow and were like, hey, we're going to cut all of your winnings, but we're going to invest every ounce of that money into like a legit TV package, I'd be like, done, go for it. Cause I'm going to make 10 times the amount of money than I would at wins.
Yeah. Because
like-
you're getting the advertising.
Advertising. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's where it's at, man. Like, the TV time and being at good venues, you're going to make way more amount of money. Like the budgets, dude, like, I don't know if I've talked with you guys about this, but the budgets like back in 2017, 2018, I mean, dude, like I was getting like $500-600K for a pro light deal.
Yeah.
Like bomb ass money, like
Yeah,
was making
that's
good
legit.
money. Like now, like you don't even see those numbers. Like people are like, you're you're crazy. You know what I mean? So, it's the value of that stuff is way more valuable than like, hey, we want an extra $200 on our payout. Like, keep it, put it towards a good TV package or getting us to better venues or lights for night races. You know what I mean? Like, the night races sell out better. You know, I'd sell twice the merch at a night race than I do during a day race, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, especially in the desert when everybody dresses warm and realizes desert gets cold.
Exactly. Yes.
Hoodies are going off the shelf.
Yes, for sure. Yes. So, I mean, there's a lot of points there that, you know, we can take away from learning about what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Do you think the recent addition for the races on Prime has driven any momentum?
Yes, 100%. It definitely does help the argument. It definitely does help the sales speech, obviously, you know, having that Prime. I mean, I think the biggest killer right now is flow. I mean, it's really valuable for circle track racing and micro sprint racing and sprint cars and stuff like that. But with off-road, I don't think it's not our fan base, you know what I mean? I think flow kills our value. But the Prime edition has definitely opened up conversations that haven't been opened up in a long time. I'll put it that way.
Does Flow provide that Prime access though?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there?
I don't know how that happened. Or I don't know the ins and outs of any of it.
Yeah.
I just know that somehow we ended up on Prime, and I'm very grateful for it because it changes a lot of conversations from, hey, you have to have a subscription to some channel that nobody's heard of, you know what I mean? Or you have Prime. Everybody has Prime, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and like you said, even when you're going to sponsors in the future, you can say the word Prime and they go, oh, you guys are Prime.
Yes.
Okay, we know what that is.
Yes, yeah.
Instead
Everybody knows what Prime is. It like nobody knows.
Wait, explain flow to me.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
What's
oh,
flow?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I bet you we're a very small part of Prime's like numbers coming in, but like that opened my eyes up to Prime holding sports.
Totally.
Like all of a sudden I was like, oh wait, the NASCAR race, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see other races.
Yeah, other forms
all
of
right.
racing, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch this every once in a while.
Yeah, no, it's really good. It's I think it'll go a long way to help us for sure.
Yeah.
It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah. I just wonder if you got to deal with the Flow in order to get the Amazon, or how do we get the Amazon without going through Flow?
I want to know how we end up on CBS Sports on Saturday afternoon at 3:00. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, let's get back to that.
Yeah, let's get back to that. Like you look at the core days where it was Jim Baldwin and those days, like those dudes, like were getting $1 million sponsorships.
Yeah. Now that I think of it though, like being on Prime is the CBS Sports prime time.
Yep.
Because like if you told me, hey, I'm on CBS, I'd go, how do I get to that?
Yeah, because everything's streamed nowadays, right?
Yeah, I'd go, all right.
Yeah, we need to. I hate to say it, but a lot of the decision makers nowadays are of that age bracket of that 50 to 60, mid 60 range, right? Yeah. And they still believe in the Sunday, 3:00, the Saturday 2:00 type deal. I mean, that's why NASCAR's on those prime times. Yeah. That's when you get the most viewership. We have to somehow. I think it would be badass and like world changing if we could get back to that type of TV package. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even if we were, say 7 or 8 o'clock or nighttime. Like if our races are at nighttime and they start at 8 o'clock and like Supercross, like and people could get together at night and watch them and at 8 and 9 o'clock. Yeah, dude, we'd crush it. I think our sport would be like, take off.
I always marvel. You look at back in the day at like the ESPN broadcasts. Yeah. And they have the in-cars and all the footage. I mean, granted, we're light years ahead in camera quality, but you used to watch those races, you go, they show the races better back then.
Oh, they do. They have way better coverage. Yeah. Way better coverage. Our shit's just like, all right, hurry up, get on, hurry, yep, get in and get out. You know what I mean? Like, our races are too short, in my opinion. I think they need to be longer so that there's more time to talk about what's going on behind the scenes footage. All that content that people so desperately want. That's why social media is so big, is people want to see behind the scenes. Yeah. Everybody knows Ryan Beat raced an off-road truck, but they want to know what Ryan Beat does during the week, how I play with my kids, you know what I mean, how much work, how do I do things, right? I hate social media. I hate going on social media. I hate social media with a passion, but that's what everybody wants to know. They want exclusivity, right? And the broadcast from back in the day, like you're talking about ESPN, they showed so much more behind the scenes stuff than what we get to show today because of the time frame, right? Like they had the time to do it. They had a 2-hour block of a thing where it's like, all right, we get 30 minutes. All right, let's get in. And then we got to show 47 classes of fucking side-by-sides and a couple pro classes.
Yeah, we figured that out the last time. There is 9 side-by-side classes.
Yeah, like, my God. Yeah. Pick 2 and
Maybe
get in where
3.
you fit in.
Maybe 3.
I think I said 5. Get down to 5. Good starting point.
I'd go 2. I'm gonna get so much hate from the side by side, but I don't care. Whatever, it is what it is.
Talking about classes. So you have a daughter that's in racing.
Yep.
What is your, like, you've already kind of started the process, but
I
what
hate
is
it.
what
I
is
hate
your
it. I
what
don't
is
want
your
to race.
map?
I'm like I beg her, like I literally ask her weekly, "Are you sure you want to race?" Because it's so much damn work.
Yeah.
It's expensive, and it's just like I feel like at that age, like it doesn't matter. Like everybody gets so serious about the kids racing thing, and it's like it's supposed to be for fun, right? And I wish more people would take it as fun, because it makes it not fun for me and my kid when I'm there, and everybody's so serious, and everybody's like, you know, so secretive, and everybody wants to be all serious about it, and it's like your kid winning a short course car championship isn't going to get him a Pro2 ride.
Yeah.
No.
Rockstar Energy is not going to come to you and be like, "Hey, we're going to develop your kid." No, it doesn't happen, right? So I wish it was more fun. I wish parents would remember. I wish I would see more parents remembering that it's supposed to be fun, and at that age, the kids, let them have fun, right? Like there's no seriousness. Like so, for me, it's not fun. Like I enjoy being around it. Like I grew up racing since I was 4 years old, and can see and how a lot of the parents act and how people be, and they take it way too serious. So for me, that competition level at that age isn't fun. I don't appreciate it at all. I want kids to be kids and let them have fun. But like my thing is like, you know, going into like what she wants to do next. Like I told her I'd support her, but I also am like, hey, you can do anything you want. You want to go dance, you want to go anything in the world you want to do, we'll do. But are you sure you want to race? If you want to race go-karts, okay, at least I can go go-kart racing and stay clean. You know what I mean? Like not having to power wash mud off after every day. But she wants to do it. She loves it, and so does my youngest. And so I think our plans with her is just to support her. I'm not going to give her the world. I'm not going to give her the best kart there is. I'm going to let her earn it, right? And when she's ready and I feel that she's ready and she's serious enough about it, I'll give her the equipment it takes to win, right? Yeah. Like a part of me, I've been mowing this over for about 2 weeks now. At the end of the season, usually I sell the Pro Spec off every season to somebody and I build a new one. I'm now contemplating keeping that Pro Spec and just mounting a seat and doing like custom pedals and a shifter for her and letting her run that around at our property and letting her just learn to drive that. And when it's time to go racing, then we go racing.
Yeah.
And like skip the mod cart, skip the side-by-side, skip all that shit, and just teach her and develop her how to race that Pro Spec over the next 4 or 5 years. She's 10, right? So over the next 3 to 4 years, I should say, develop her and let her learn in that. And then when it's time to go racing, then we'll go racing if there's a sport left or if there's sponsorship left or whatever. Yeah. But I just I don't want it to get too serious and burn her out or burn her little sister out, or you know what I mean, make it not fun. You know, that's what I don't want. I want it to be fun. That's where it's supposed to be. You know, so we'll see.
And whenever you see interviews with like Ricky G, Johnny Holcher, RJ, the guys that came up through the mod kart, trophy kart, whatever, the junior kart, whatever they were called, you know, I don't ever hear them talking about all the wins they had. I hear them talking about, oh yeah, me and Ricky G used to bang doors, and we had this one race, we were, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
a lot of cool stories.
Yeah.
A lot of cool stories. That's like the one thing that like, obviously I got it. I didn't start racing off-road till I was 22 years old. You know what I mean? So it's like everybody's on this big push, like, you got to do it now. You got to be young. You got to do this. Like, I didn't start till I was 22. I didn't even step foot in a car till I was 22. You know what I mean? Look where my career ended up. I don't think it ended up too bad. I don't think I was too far behind the 8 ball, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like we have time. That's why I tell my wife all the time, like, we have time. Like, we don't need to be in a hurry. She doesn't need to, we don't need to be at every practice session. We don't need to, you know what I mean? Like, if she runs around dead last in short course kart, let her.
Yeah.
She's learning something every time she's out there.
Yeah.
And I'm not giving her the best kart with the best motor, with the ceramic bearings and the titanium chain. I'm not doing all that shit. Like, because if I give her everything now, when she gets to a level where everybody has the same equipment, she's not going to know what to do and she's not going to be able to perform. I would rather under-deliver her equipment right now, make her work that much harder for it, learn how to be better, so that one day when it is time, I give her the best equipment and then her skills shine.
Yeah.
I've watched it a couple times with kids that have come through the mod kart world, and their parents would either cheat their cars or give them equipment that was far superior to everyone else's. And by the time they got to the level where everybody's equipment was on par with each other's, they weren't that good. They didn't perform as well, right? Because they were used to having something so much better.
They had the advantage. Now the
yeah.
advantage is taken away.
Yeah.
It is crazy the amount of money that is being spent in the kid classes.
Dude, mind-boggling. Like, wild.
Yeah.
Like, so crazy.
Yeah. I've heard Vandervoort tell stories about if his kid was, when he was in junior kart or whatever it's called, if his kid wasn't coming and helping clean it up, prep it and all that stuff, he'd say, fine, all right.
Yeah.
Go out tomorrow and see what happens.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then sometimes that kid would, I don't know how he'd do it. He'd still go out there and kick ass. And then other times the chain would break and then I'd go, see, should have.
Yeah, no, that's a big thing that we're kind of into at my shop is my daughter. I mean, today she was pressure washing all the Pro2 tires and wheels. Nice. Like, she was out there with a pressure washer. I mean, washing tires and wheels and washing the pit bikes, and she's got to help. You know what I mean? She's got to earn it. She's got to be there and help. And I wasn't given anything. And do I want an easier life for my daughter? Yes, but I'm trying to teach her discipline too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just giving them everything to go out there and be a little assholes, ain't teaching them nothing.
Seeing them smile coming off the track in the mid pack or back of the pack.
Yeah, like,
It's
dude, my
better
daughter
than-
comes off the track, and there's times where I'm frustrated, but she comes off and she's like, "Yeah, I had fun."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "That's all it's about." It reminds me right then there, stops me dead in my tracks. I'm like, "All right, that's all it's about."
That's
all I
better
want
than
you to do.
seeing one disappointed.
Yeah.
Coming off I got second. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even my daughter, there's times where she comes off. Like, this weekend, she was really frustrated because it's like the first time that, like, I nailed the clutching setup and got all that bullshit squared away and had a good setup. And she drove from like 14th to like 5th in like one lap, and she was right there in the pack, and then she flipped. And she was frustrated. I'm like, "What's wrong?" She's like, "Gosh darn it, I wanted a podium." I'm like, "Okay, it'll come. We have to take our licks first, right? Like, we're not going to come out and win right away. We're not going to podium right away. We got to learn, right?" And she's like, "I know, I was doing so good, and then I messed up." And I'm like, "It's okay to be frustrated, but now it gives you motivation to come back better, come back harder, work harder at it." Like, if you were just to go out and do good right away, it wouldn't teach you nothing.
Yeah.
You'd be like, "Oh, cool, I'm good. I'm great. I don't have to work at this." I don't want that. I wanted to learn work ethic. I wanted, you know what I mean? So we're just doing a little different.
Yeah. Yeah. So talking about classes, I know it's probably been beaten up a bunch already, but coming from the Pro Light class that you were in and now seeing what the Pro Light class is today, do you agree with them giving them another promise of a year?
No, they should have just told them at the end of the year it's done. I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, some people are going to lose some money, but at the end of the day, there's another damn example of, like, we just keep fucking with the rules to the point where it's like it costs everybody out of it. You know what I mean? Leave the damn rules alone. I mean, ProLite, when they had the spec engine rule, where it was a Dodge, Chevy, Ford, you could run all three, right? There was 20 to 25 trucks. I remember at Glen Helen at Elsinore, there was qualifiers. There was an A qualifier and a B qualifier just to make the main event.
Yeah.
And it only took 20 trucks. I think 40 showed up. They literally sent like almost half the entries back. The racing was more expensive, or the racing wasn't more expensive. Like the motors were way more expensive. They were $25,000-$30,000 spec engines, right? But I mean, there were still 40 of them that showed up. Right now, we got an $8,000 or a $9,000 engine, and we can't get 6 to show up.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I think we're focusing all of our attention in the wrong spot. I personally told Champ, I'm like, if you guys are going to talk about clipping this class, you should have told these guys last year.
Yeah.
Give them a year's notice. So, okay, if you're going to give them another year, tell them right now that the end of 27, ProLite's done.
Yeah.
We have 17 prospects. Like, it's obviously a better class. It's obviously a more affordable class, if you will. Like, people have gone back to that rule package. The Pro Light got so out of control with having to have Motec, and now you got to have 40 spline axles, and you got to have, $16,000 worth of big Brembo brakes on the damn thing to slow it down because they're going so fast. And then like you got to have all this converter development. You got to have 3 or 4 converters, and then you got to have 4 or 5 third member gears. Like,
Yeah.
it just got out of control. And that's like, when they came to me about like, hey, we got to do another class like between side by side and Pro Light. I'm like, there's some key aspects here that we have to lock down if you want it to truly be a development class that is going to not be so costly as Pro Light. It sucks that Pro Light got so out of control, but it's like now, like you said, we're beyond the point of repair. So let's just we got 4 left, right? Like,
Yeah. Well, there's rumor of big numbers coming to Crandon, but we'll see it when we see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll believe when I see
I think that was to your point, that was the frustrating thing. We've been saying for a long time now, we just have to find time in this. We have to reduce classes somewhere.
Yes. Yeah.
And there was an opportunity,
Yeah.
and they didn't put a foot down.
Yeah, and they didn't put a foot down. Yeah, no, I was quite surprised because all the conversations I was involved in, that was the direction they were going in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, unless the 4 guys got together and were like, hey, whatever, you know what I mean? I don't know.
There's guys in that class that blew up motors, and it was like, all right,
Yeah,
here's your time to pick up a V6.
yeah, 100%. I don't know, man.
And lap times, Bark River, a track that Pro Light should have easily went way faster than Pro Spec.
Yeah,
The top guys were going the same, the top guys in Pro Light were the top guys timing right around in Pro Spec.
yeah. I mean, they're not slow.
It's not
right?
like they're
It's not
five-
like it's a boring class.
Yeah.
The prospect's fast and they're fun and you can get them going good. They're just half the cost to operate. Half the cost to build. It's crazy.
Yeah. I got to correct that. It was the middle of Pro Light, because somebody's going to give me hell on the internet. The
Middle Pro Light, what, third?
So
Third out of 4?
So you take the fastest guy out,
Yeah.
because he was 2 seconds faster.
Well, yeah, Connor's program's a
Yeah.
pro program and the rest are sportsman level programs.
So if you take out the curve, it was hey, this isn't very much different.
It's not.
I just don't even understand it from if you want to compete, wouldn't you want to go in the class with 17 trucks so you
Yeah.
can go compete?
and learn.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
compete
Bang
with
doors.
and compete with the people that are competing in Pro Spec.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a caliber.
No, for sure it is, and yeah, I don't understand it, man. It's one of the things about our sport that there's just not a whole lot of common sense around certain things.
Yeah. 100%.
So as we kind of get closer on this thing to the end, we always like to ask, what is your most memorable moment? In
Winning
off-road?
Crandon, for sure.
Yeah.
Winning Crandon in 17. It was one of the most fun races. We were just spot on that weekend, Pro Light, and hole shotted, and I don't think I hole shot. I think I got a second place start behind Kleiman, and me and him banged doors for a couple corners, and then I took off and led the whole thing, won it, and then partied like I've never partied before at the bar downstairs, and then went downtown Crandon. It was so fun. It was just such an epic night, such a fun time.
Yeah.
All of our friends and family came out for that race, which we had no idea that we were going to win. We just wanted to have a good time and have our family and friends come see this great racetrack and place that we were racing at.
Yeah.
And it was gnarly, dude. It was so fun. It was one of my most memorable wins for sure,
Yeah.
by far.
That's awesome. So in 10 years, what would you like to look or predict? What would you like to say that you accomplished in off-road?
I've accomplished quite a bit, right? I'd love to be able to say, hey, I won Pro Light, Pro 2, and Pro 4 championships, right? Yeah. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'm not going to get too hung up on it. Last weekend I won my 55th pro win, if you count the wins between side by side and Pro 2 and Pro Light. Was my 55th win. So to be able to say I accomplished that, 55 wins, I'm pretty proud of that. You know what I mean? If it ended tomorrow, I'd be okay with it. I'd be like, all right, I wouldn't lose sleep over it. I had a lot of fun. I met a lot of great people. I learned a lot, and off-roads just blessed me with an amazing life. I've got to travel the United States for the past 10 years of my life doing this deal, and really enjoyed, racing and having fun. There's always those tense moments or those moments that happen with racing, but it happens anywhere. But to be able to look back and be like, hey, I got to spend 10 years making a living driving an off-road truck. Yeah. My kids got to race, and I got to meet some amazing people and made a pretty good living while I was doing it. I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah. Yeah, there's worse jobs to have.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? And I think that comes from, like in the meantime of trying to race motocross, like I was having to work construction, and construction's hard.
Oh yeah.
It's very hard. Like it's a gnarly deal. So anybody that does it, props and kudos to you. But definitely racing an off-road truck was a lot easier than digging ditches for sure.
I can imagine.
So who do you think we should have on next?
I don't know, man. That's a good question. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, like that. I think the conversation's interesting from a spectator standpoint. Like you need to get like a Johnny and a Jimmy or something. You know what I mean?
That would be awesome.
Yeah. We're going to need to put up a cage or something.
Yeah.
I was going to say we'd have to put them next to each other because that's where they end up on the track.
Right? Obviously from a spectator standpoint, that would always be a funny one to watch and watch everybody get kind of awkward, Yeah. But, another driver, if you just had to say one, probably Ricky. I always like hearing from Ricky because he's always got off the wall shit to say. Yeah. You're like, what? But yeah, like dude, there's so many good dudes that have good stories to say and things to talk about and tell. And I think that's what our sport needs more of is guys like you, doing your due diligence to aware people, make people aware of these drivers, create personalities, create get to know drivers better. I think our sport does such a bad job at like portraying drivers and letting people learn who they really are as people. I mean, for a long time, you guys were like, fuck or IMB, you know what I mean? Until we started talking and, getting to know each other. But I think that's what makes our sport cool is like, right, everybody's got their idea until you actually get to know them and you're like, interesting, Yeah. So.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a fun season, but I was like, hey, I better walk up to this guy and tell him I'm just reporting stuff, man. I don't mean it personal.
No, it's all good, dude.
And if we were doing we didn't do race recaps this year, but if we were, don't worry, Ricky G was taking your spot on that one.
Yeah, no, it's all good, man. Like I said, it's that's what the problem with our sport is there's so little media coverage. Everybody just got an idea of, because they saw an incident on the track, but they didn't see how that incident unfolded or whatever. So you instantly got a persona of somebody that they're a piece of shit or that, they're dirty or they're an asshole because you haven't got to watch podcasts or behind the scenes stories or, we don't have Drive to Survive for short course. I mean, we kind of did with Keeble Brothers doing it with Rush. But I think that's one thing that our sport desperately needs is guys like you and the Keebles and everybody that puts their heart and soul into really getting the sport out to, the masses, but, creating these drivers, letting people get to know the drivers. I think that's the next step.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys having me on.
I like hearing all the stories and catching up. And,
no, it's been cool. The guy's got an amazing little spot here. It's really cool. I walked in, I'm like, oh, this is legit. This is cool.
Yeah, we try our best.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, we get to get another signature on our board from you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And unless you got anything else, David.
Got nothing else. We appreciate it, and it was awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll see you at Crandon, and then Glen Helen is another Pro2 fast lap, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he told me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Pro2
so
fast
you can
lap.
stack another trophy up.
Good
if
try.
by
Hey,
chance.
speaking of that, the trophy's sick. It's like one of my favorite trophies of all time. Like a couple weeks ago, one of the guys was like, "Let's drink this bourbon." I'm like, "Nope." I like that trophy too much. Like it looks too cool sitting there. So appreciate that. Cool of you guys to do that for our sport and our class and all the classes that you do it for. So mad props. Appreciate it big time.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you very much. All right.